The following is a sports broadcast presentation of TV 10 Martinsburg. It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school volleyball, featuring the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference and the Musselman Applemen. Today's play-by-play coverage is being brought to you by
the Marius Group. Start planning for a brilliant future. The Eastern Panhandle Volleyball Club, West Virginia's leader in travel volleyball since 2001. D&D Meats at 8488 Winchester Avenue, Inwood. Anthony's Pizza. Nobody does it better. Dave Pippenbrink State Farm Insurance. Call 304-229-0029 today. Panhandle Dumpsters, because you have a choice. PanhandleDumpsters.com. Bechtel Jewelers, West Virginia's largest Pandora retailer. My Bank First United. Bank Local. And by Appalachian Heating and Air Conditioning, where quality meets comfort.
Standing by is our TV 10 broadcast team. Let's head to the court and get today's pregame show and play-by-play coverage underway.
Pleasant good evening across the Eastern Panhandle, or wherever you may be tuning in. Welcome into West Virginia High School Volleyball on TV 10. Sorry for getting on the air a little late. Always fun broadcasting games from out at Hedgesville. But we are on the air and just a few moments behind on the JV action. Right now, it is Musselman with a 3-2 advantage here in set number one. Matt Crawford here with you, as always, with Phil McCoy. Eric Sterick, our on-site producer / cameraman. Big thanks to him for helping us get on the air. John Alderton is our main TV camera operator for tonight's festivities, and Caleb Falero back at the studio. Another point going to the Applemen. They have the 4-2 advantage. Phil, how's it going, man?
Going great.
Looking forward to this matchup tonight. Again, we're in the JV game right here as Hedgesville lets that one go out of the back of the court. They get back to within one at 4-3 in set one. But the varsity matchup is going to bring a lot of fans out here, and two of the best, not only in the area, but in the entire state are playing here tonight.
Absolutely. These two from the region have been down to the state tournament, I want to say 3 years in a row as the 1 and 2 seed. So quite the rivalry. I want to say the last 6 of 7 that they've played has gone 5 sets, so we may be in for an exciting long night.
Good effort on the part of the Applemen. A great dive out of the back of the court by Micah McAvoy, but just couldn't get it where she wanted to back in the court of play, and that'll be a point for Hedgesville. They tie it up 4-4 here in set number one. Serve for Hedgesville. Again, knotted up here at 4 in set one. JV match doing a best of 3 today, as always. A good net play deflected at the net, keeping it alive for the Applemen. Again, great net play both sides to start this set. Now going to the back line, and now a chance for a Musselman to set it up. Great job at the net, number 5. Addison Walker, yeah, and we'll call her name plenty of times in this JV match and plenty of times coming up later in that varsity match as well, Phil.
Absolutely. Right there in that rally, she had a good 4 or 5 swings. Hedgesville's in a good place, but continued swinging hard, and it finally fell on the floor.
It will be Addie Miller now serving it for Musselman, the 5-4 advantage on the road here. It was a good setup, good pump opportunity for number 11, Grace Gum, but nobody coming in to help.
Yeah, basically I think what you saw there was Hedgesville setter Paige Richmond didn't quite get there. I don't know if the communication wasn't called for the help call, but typically you're going to see the setter control that second ball.
Miller, again, a couple of shots, or a couple of serves, rather, that have just done a very good job of dropping in. Now the third hit, just trying to get it over. It was McAvoy again, missed that one short, hitting the net, point Hedgesville. 6-5 here in set number one. Musselman still on top. Now Hedgesville on the serve, a left-handed. A serve by number 5, Paige Elliott. Little miscommunication right there, but just able to get it over, and just trying to tap it back over was Riley Franklin, and just missed time to jump a little bit, sending it right back into the center of the net before falling down to the ground.
Yeah, and you'll hear these coaches often say when they go to block, you want to get up and over, and one of the reasons for the over is because you don't want that ball to roll down the front of you like that. It
was a great serve, dying at the last minute on the libero. And just not able to get it airborne. That was number 2, Hannah Lee. Phil, how different is it getting a serve from a left-hander as opposed to a right-hander? Another point there for Musselman. They tie it back up 7-7.
Honestly, if the serve is served correctly, which most of these kids are doing a float serve, other than the point at which it leaves her hand, it's not going to be much different. Now, if you get into the top spin, and especially at the front row like Danica Faircloth, the left-hander, it comes off their hand completely different. It can mess with you a little bit.
Kaylee Weatherholtz set to serve here. Substitution real quick on that front line for Musselman. Coach Taylor Allen. And now Weatherholtz is ready with the serve. That one, a long serve, just kept in on that back line. And a good job by Hedgesville, although I guess Musselman caught a break on that one. That one's probably easily going out of bounds.
Yeah, and they kind of put her in a place where she didn't have much of a choice.
That back line getting a lot of work early in this one for Hedgesville. Good eye there on that back line, number 2. Olivia Payne watching that one go long. And Hedgesville regains the lead here in set 1, 8-7.
That was a great job by Payne. If you notice where the back row stands, oftentimes what they're looking for as a key, if it's over their head, then it's going to be out. So you'll sometimes see the taller passers be farther up than what the shorter ones are for that reason.
Gunn was on the serve. Hannah Lee sent it sky high, almost hitting the basketball hoop setter all the way up to the roof here at the court at Hedgesville. And that one, again, just a misjudgment by number 9, Emma Kernis. And just watching that one drop in for a point, Hedgesville, they have a 9-7 advantage here in set 1.
A lot of that started off the serve from Grace Gum. Grace has a great serve, and it's going to be low and flat most of the time coming over.
Another serve from Gum. That one, little air underneath of it, and also a little wide, going out of bounds. 9-8 point Musselman.
Maybe an update on the freshman game, Matt. It's in the other gym. Musselman is up 14-2.
Back to serve now. Addison Walker for Musselman. This one dropping in. Understand a little more airborne coming in on it was Kylie Hahn, and she misjudged that one. Just lucky to get a hand on it. Having to get it over. And McKernis does just that. Right now, Hedgesville doesn't seem like they're getting in too much of a rhythm. The majority of their points so far coming just on missed serves, and that was a great location. Great hit, number 11, Kylie Weatherholtz. 9-9, we're not back up here in set 1.
Well, she found that right line there. There's actually someone there, but I don't think they expected that to come across the court. I could see Grace Gum angling for it, and it went right down the line.
Addison Walker on the serve. That was a low line drive serve, pops right up. And now another.
That was a fantastic pass by Kylie Hahn on that, and it was kind of a wasted pass and set, but standing flat-footed swinging at it.
And it just doesn't seem like each hit has been all that consistent so far for Hedgesville, just trying to get into a groove early. Walker again on the serve, and that's going to be an ace. Just getting inbounds on that back line. 11-9. Musselman with the advantage, and timeout, Hedgesville. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. When we come back, we will have the rest of set 1. Right now it's Musselman 11, Hedgesville 9.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday. I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
As long as you can hear me.
Welcome back into Hedgesville High School. Again, apologize for getting on the air a tad late tonight. Always fun trying to get a signal out of this gym, but on the air now, thanks to the hard work of our team here, Eric Sterrick, John Alderton, and Caleb Falero back at the studio, 11-9. Right now, Musselman ahead here in set 1. Again, the varsity match coming about 20 minutes after the conclusion of this JV match. Good drop shot, number 14, Savannah McClintock.
Yeah, over there we kind of wasted a few passes, great passes by Hedgesville by not swinging, just sending over free balls. And also that back row, coaches are going to want to yell at them for not getting back to their base defense. So enough room to drive a truck through with your front row on the net and the back row still back where they're at right now.
Miller on the serve, another hard load line drive serve. It's one of the reasons that she's able to make that transition from JV to varsity. Then good net play, dropping in point Musselman.
That's South System volleyball at its best right there. Nothing went right for either team, but good athletic plays from both sides.
One thing about this game is somebody's going to get a point regardless.
Yeah, it's normally a result of an error. I like to say volleyball is a cruel game because you're cheering for someone else's error.
13-9. Musselman with the advantage, and that serve going too far out of the back of the court. Point Hedgesville off the serve from Addison Walker. It'll be Hedgesville Eagle serve. Looks like Kylie Hahn set to serve it, and she does just that. And this time, a bump on McClintock goes out of the gym completely, going out the only open door out of the back of the gym. And that'll be back-to-back points now for Hedgesville.
Yeah, and usually McClintock's a setter. You wouldn't. Right now she's playing back row, but typically your setter's not going to pass the ball. Right now she's not playing in the setter position, I don't believe.
Serve for Hahn.
No, she's playing outside.
Good job by Lee to set up the offense. McClintock does send it over. A missed-time dive, a great effort by Hedgesville just to get it back over. Fantastic job by Stropshire. Third hit, just having to get it over. And now Franklin up at the net. And that point's going to go to Hedgesville. I think they're going to get underneath the net, right, Phil?
Call under the net on that. She probably could have called a double as well. I don't know how tight they'll call those. This is much like a holding call in football. Sometimes you call them tight, sometimes you don't.
13-12. Musselman still holds on to that 1-point lead here in set one. Hannah Lee gets it over and not able to send it where she wanted it. Dylan Aroost. That one falls in, point Musselman.
Hannah did a good job of making something out of nothing right there.
Hannah Lee now set to serve. Again, the libero wearing the burgundy jersey for the Appleman. There's the serve, misses that one short, point Hedgesville. 14-13, and neither team able to get more than a 1 or 2 point advantage once we got into double digits so far, Phil. And now serving, it'll be Paige Richmond for Hedgesville. A long serve getting to the back line, easily handled by Musselman. McClintock sends it over, and a bad hit going the wrong way for Paige Elliott. Point Musselman.
Yeah, not to pick on Hedgesville there. That should have been a back row player playing that ball, but she kind of stuck her arm out. Once she did, she had no choice. And we'll see if Musselman can make a run. Addie Miller just came in, and they seem to make hay when she's in the game. So let's see if they can get a little run with her in.
Gabby Money now in, serving it for Musselman. First time we've seen Money in today, or at least the first serve we've seen. And Money will set it up at the net. McClintock now at the net, and again, I think they're going to get another underneath the net.
Yeah, they're not going to be happy about that. While she was under the net, that's always a debated rule. How long can she stay under the net, and how much of her foot can cross that center line? That was quick, and it didn't interfere with the play. But if they're going to call it, they got to be careful with it.
Ball going into the net. That'll be a point Musselman. And yeah, it's got to be a fine line because you have a player coming as hard as she can towards the net. You can't just stop on a dime. There's going to be that movement, especially ones that are trying to avoid making contact with the net.
Yeah, and that's always a debated rule. Good job, Musselman.
Yeah, great job at the net by both Addie Miller and Addie Walker. That is a dangerous combo up front.
Yes,
Again, two girls that are not only going to be very important in this JV match, but also get plenty of time in the varsity match coming up later. Gabby Money again with the serve. 17-14, Musselman with the advantage. Third hit has got to get over here for Hedgesville, and it does. Hannah Lee now sets it up. Miller trying to send it over, and another point for Hedgesville. I think they're going to get underneath the net again.
I actually caught a lift on that. So I guess they're saying Addie Miller lifted the ball when she went to push it over to the campfire is what they call it.
All right, explain for people who don't know. When you say lift, what does that mean?
Basically, if you can't, when you hit the ball, it has to be some sort of smack hit, whether it's you could do an open hand, but if you kind of cup your hand and that ball stays in your hand any at all, and you'll see it caught on setters a lot as well.
So more of like a cradle?
Yeah, it's we're almost referring to they basically caught it, controlled the ball with their hand by almost catching it.
Good net play going to the back line. A diving attempt by Hannah Lee, but able to make contact, but not where she wanted it to go. It'll go out of bounds into the bleachers. Point Hedgesville, and they're back within one, 17-16. Now set to serve is Maggie Kearns for the Lady Eagles. Here is that serve. Skimming the net on the way over. Great dig by Hannah Lee. And Walker does get it over. Good job at the net. Again, Lee with a good dig in the middle. And a great diving effort.
That was good out.
Weatherhold's just not able to get there quick enough. A great effort.
Good out-of-system volleyball there. You notice the setter passed the serve. And that's not something you typically like to do, but she has to sometimes. And Kearns came right in and put up a good set, and they got a swing on it.
Kearns again with the serve, and the volley back over too far. Out of bounds right in front of the Hedgesville bench. point Hedgesville, and just like that, a 4-point swing, and they've gained the lead here in set 1, 18-17. Kearns again with the serve. Lee's going to have to get it over, and she does. Good setup opportunity here at the net. Sending Lee back, but is able to keep it in bounds. And a great opportunity at the net. A spike deflected the net on the way over, but does get over and sets Hedgesville up in a tricky situation here. Let's see what they do with it. Great job getting it over, but now a good opportunity here for Musselman, and a great job at the net. Addie Miller sending it hard down, deflecting off a couple on that front line for Hedgesville. Point Musselman. We're tied at 18.
Yeah, it was a good way to stop the bleeding there. Get it to your go-to. In some cases, Addie Miller. She's always consistent. So she just hit that off the block and gets them out of that rotation.
And it will be Miller now with the serve. Sends it over, a spiraling serve.
Nice
you
serve.
could tell that one looked like a slider coming in from a pitcher the way it was going around sideways.
I'm not sure that's exactly what she wanted to happen. Like I said before, the least amount of spin on the ball is what they're kind of looking for, but it got the job done.
19-18, Musselman with the advantage. That one, still a little bit of spin to it, but Hedgesville able to corral that one in. They got to get it over. They do on that third hit, but it goes out of bounds. A good eye by Gabby Money, and Musselman will be the first to 20. 20-18, the 2-point advantage, and after that little run by Hedgesville, the Lady Affelman put together a little run of their own. That's now 3 straight for Musselman. And Addie Miller now with the serve. Again, you talk about how you want as little spin as possible. All 3 serves for her have, again, looked like more of a slider from baseball. You can see a lot of spin on it, and so far it's giving Hedgesville trouble. Good net play at the front by Addie Walker.
Yeah, the ball's going where she wants it to go, so I think that's the main thing. And Hedgesville has called timeout. Now they're trying to stop the bleeding themselves.
There it is, timeout on the court. Let's take a 30-second break as well. The rest of set 1 when we come back. 21-18 Musselman ahead here at Hedgesville. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on TV 10.
The EPAN Travel Volleyball Club would like to wish the local high school volleyball teams good luck with their 2019 season. We look forward to seeing all players ages 12U through 17U at our 2020 tryouts in November. The EPAN Volleyball Club has been West Virginia's leader in travel volleyball since 2001. The EPAN Volleyball Club is affiliated with the Chesapeake Region Volleyball Association and AAU USA Volleyball. Tryouts are usually held at Musselman High School. To register, email epan2@gmail.com or go to www.epanvbc.com.
It may have to do with where I'm standing, too.
Welcome back into Hedgesville High School. We'll give you an update on the freshman game between these two schools coming up here in just a bit. Right now, the remainder of set 1. Miller with the serve. Musselman that 21-18 advantage. A great job going out of bounds. Paige Elliott to save that one, and Hedgesville lucky to get it over. Now a phenomenal opportunity at the net. Walker sends it over and deflecting. A hand stuck out. Looked like a Dylan Roost, and I don't think she had any business going for that volleyball.
No, right now Musselman's humming, so they're in system. Hedgesville's out of system. You're noticing a lot of free balls coming from the Hedgesville side.
22-18 the advantage now for Musselman. Other than a small run to put Hedgesville back in the lead, so far the runs here in set 1 have gone the way of Musselman. Able to get it over. Good job on the back line. Now a good set opportunity. And a point Hedgesville. Was that, Phil?
That was a double call, so you'll see that on setters sometimes when the ball comes in or comes out of their hand unevenly. Basically saying that it's touched both hands when it shouldn't at different times.
Serve going to number 5. That one is Paige Elliott. Great job going over the net. Again, a terror at the line has been Addison Walker today, along with Addie Miller. And right now, that front line for Hedgesville just hasn't quite been up to snuff for either one of those players.
No, their power is starting to overtake them a little bit. They're in their zone right now, and as long as Addison's up front, would expect without serve errors that they would finish this off.
Kaylee Weatherholtz now set to serve. 23-19, the advantage for Musselman. That one too strong.
I think a jinxed her.
23-20, Hedgesville back within 3, and they get to 20 here in set 1. Again,
Watch Gum. She's got a really good serve. She can go on a run.
There is that serve from Gum, and a low, hard serve. Now a good drop shot, just trying to get it over the net, was Addison Walker, and she does that. Now a good block at the net by that front line. Franklin just had to get it over, and she does. Great job by Riley Franklin. A little excuse me, but gets over. Now a great job at the net. A great dig on the other side for Hedgesville in that back line. Anna Lee now with it. Setup opportunity at the net, and right now Hedgesville doing the best job we've seen of kind of counteracting these kill attempts by Addison Miller and Addie Walker. Great job at the net, going to that back line, going off Kylie Hahn out of the back of the court. Musselman, and I'll get the advantage 24-20. I think that was the best volley we had seen all day yet. Yeah,
what I was getting ready to say is while they were some impressive digs, especially by Grace Gum on the back row, some impressive digs, but they were returning free balls, which makes it way too easy for a team like Musselman to get those swings and keep the pressure on.
Addison Walker will try to end set one here. She has the serve for Musselman, and here comes that serve. Hedgesville's going to have to get it over. A long third shot just to get it over, but they do. Now at the net, a great drop shot. That one coming from Savannah McClintock, and that's going to fall in. 25-20, the final here in set number one. Let's take a 1-minute timeout while these two teams swap sides. When we come back, we'll break down this matchup a little bit more. Again, not a whole lot of pregame coming into this one, so that coming up here in a minute. Again, set one goes to the Applemen. They get the win 25-20 in set one of a best of three. We'll be back with set two next. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on TV 10.
As a mom, when I'm making dinner for my family, I want the best and healthiest food for them. That's why I get my meats from D&D Meats. Their meats are fresh, locally sourced, and hormone-free, chemical-free, and antibiotic-free. D&D Meats is also family-owned, so I know when I go in with a special request for my large family events that I'm going to get treated just like family. D&D Meats, located across from Musselman High School at 8488 Winchester Avenue, Inwood. What are you feeding your family tonight?
At Anthony's Pizza Inwood location, nobody does it better. We make our own dough and we bake it fresh twice daily. That's freshly baked twice a day to make sure your pizza always tastes great. Take advantage of our Anthony's Pizza special offer. Get 2 large one-topping pizzas, just $17.99. And when you buy 3 12-inch subs, the 4th one's on us. For the best in freshly made pizzas, subs, calzones, stromboli, lasagna, and more, it's got to be Anthony's Pizza, 372 Middleway Pike in Inwood. Call 229-7373 for delivery, anthonysmenu.com.
Yeah.
Welcome back in as you get some between set banter. Again, thank you to our crew helping us get set up out here. It's always fun out here. We love calling games at Hedgesville, whether it's volleyball, basketball, football, or baseball, but always an adventure one way or another getting a cell service out of here. Set one in the JV match going in favor of the Applemen, 25-20. Phil, what you see in set number one?
Well, first of all, on the Hedgesville side, it seems to me that their back row, while they're making spectacular plays, they don't have to make spectacular plays. They're coming because they're out of position. So they're a little bit too far back, which is causing Musselman to want to tip it, find that open spot in the middle, leaves Grace Gum and some of them happen to dive for the ball, making what looks to be spectacular plays, but it doesn't have to be if they were in the right position. If you look at Grace right now, she is about where she should be, maybe up a little bit when the ball's on the other side. But I did notice some that they play too deep on the back row. Musselman's absolutely taking advantage of that.
All right, real quick, with about 40 seconds left before set number two, go ahead and give us an update on that freshman game and some wild stats that you have from that freshman game.
Yeah, there's the freshman team. Musselman's freshman team's quite impressive, first of all, so before I say that. But they won the first set 25-2. Right now they're up in the second set 12-6. But you often don't see a 25-2 match in volleyball, regardless of the difference in talent. It's hard for a team to go 25 points without making more than 2 errors, essentially, even serving. So that is impressive on Musselman's part. Not to disparage Hedgesville at all, but the freshman team from Musselman has played together for quite some time.
Starting on the serve will be Paige Richmond for Hedgesville. She sends it over. And now, as you're watching on the camera, if you're seeing us, Musselman is to our left or right. If you're on the bleachers, at that point drops in Hedgesville. Great diving effort on that back line, diving in for Addie Walker. But Musselman in the gray JV uniforms, the burgundy, a libero, and Hedgesville in the white. Serve again for Richmond, gets over. Now drop shot opportunity, great job at the net. Hannah Lee, a diving dig, just able to keep it airborne. Now the third shot's got to get over, and it does. Great opportunity here for Hedgesville. Great net play, and just getting over but out of bounds. Great effort by Gabby Money. Also a great job by Savannah McClintock, just able to keep that one alive at the net. But Hedgesville takes the 2-0 lead to start set number two.
Riley Franklin's doing a great job of getting up and getting the blocks, but she needs to get over a little bit so they'll stop rolling down her stomach.
Good opportunity here at the net, just getting over towards that back line of Musselman.
See how that back row's in a good spot now. See how easy that looked?
Yep, and really moving that fourth line to the front. A great block at the
there
net
she goes.
by Riley Franklin. A great diving attempt by Grace Gum, which is too far out of her reach. And Musselman gets their first point here of this set. 2-1 is the equal advantage.
Great job by Franklin repairing that mistake that she was making. She did get over the net on that and had a great block.
Hannah Lee on the serve, frustrated with that one. As you can see the reaction, that one missed short into the net. Point Hedgesville. Now on that back line to serve will be Layla Stropshire. As Hannah Lee, I think, still a little bit in her head about that last serve. You could tell just wasn't in the right position to make that play and just threw the arms at it. And now she's getting instruction from head coach Taylor Allen. And that's part of the instruction there is focus on the serve at hand.
Yeah, and she was just one step short on that. If she had taken one step back and dropped her shoulder, she was where she needed to be.
And a good job by Lee getting it over, and now able to keep this one alive as well. Now getting it over, and a dig at the other end by Richmond for Hedgesville.
That was a great set.
Back line again for Lee. She sets it up. Now a good opportunity at the net for Addie Miller, but able to keep it airborne is Hedgesville. Now another great opportunity. Send it back the other way. Gabby Money sending it over, and right now, very good offense, very good defense by both of these teams, and that point will go to Hedgesville. What was the call on that one, Phil?
Another double. Although she wasn't setting it, she was pushing it over, but if you see how the ball comes out of her hand, he saw the spin on the ball and called the double.
You say you can really tell that based by the spin of the ball, right?
Well, they're not supposed to call it based off the spin of the ball. Often they will, and I think that's what he was seeing right there. Those are really difficult to see. Some are obvious, but a good double call is difficult to see.
And an ace from that back line. Number 9, Emma Kernos with the ace there for Musselman. They're back within 1, 4-3. Second ace we've seen in this match so far. Kernos again with the serve. Again, got a no man's land. A good job going back by Paige Elliott as that one goes deep out of the back, out of play. And that'll be a point. Musselman 4-4. We're knotted up here in set number 2.
Emma's a good server. We've noticed this in the first couple of weeks that she has a good float serve. It doesn't get a lot of spin on it. I may have just jinxed her, but not a lot of spin on it. And she's placing that in the seams where she wants.
Again, that broadcaster's jinx is only who wants to believe it. That serve does get over, so you didn't jinx her quite yet. Good setup opportunity at the net here. Spiked down by Addie Miller, but Hedgesville able to keep it alive. Good net play. Going up into the net was number 11, Grace Gum, and just couldn't get it over. Felt the presence, I think, on the other side of the net.
Yeah, that was really tight. She didn't have much of a choice maybe to punch it up with her fist. She didn't have much of a choice due to how tight it was to the net.
That back line, the serve again for Kernos. Gets it over. Now good setup opportunity at the net. Great back line play by Hedgesville again. Good drop shot. Hannah Lee coming up to keep that one alive. All right, now the front line for Musselman doing all they can. Several kill opportunities. That one just staying in bounds. Great job by Sierra Brand. And that was a case where I think you let that one go because that was so close to going out that you don't want to jinx that one by being out of position and touching it.
Yeah, and oftentimes those girls will play that because I can tell you if you watch enough volleyball, you'll see that they let way more fall in than they misjudge it's going out.
Serve from the back line and a nice little run here for Musselman. Good dig by Hannah Lee setting up a Brand again at the net. Deflected at the net. It's going to fall in. Point Musselman. 2 Hedgesville Eagles there to block it at the net, but it falls in. A hard hit by Sierra Brand.
Yeah, Sierra's doing well on the front row of this set. Same thing with the Hedgesville blockers. And when they get up, they're doing a good job of getting up, but they need to get over as well.
Kernos again on the serve. Now Hannah Lee setting it back up. Brand again at the net. A good opportunity, but sends that one long. Point Hedgesville.
Yeah, I think she was trying to find that back corner. Just sailed on her a little bit.
7-5 here in set 2. Best of 3 here at the JV level. Musselman took set 1, 25-20. Play at the net. Lee's got to get it over on the third hit. She does. Now a good opportunity here for Hedgesville as that one sent a little too far. A good setup opportunity here for Addison Miller and does get it over.
Notice where Hedgesville's back row is playing in opposition to where they were the first set. That's why some of those little tips and dinks aren't working in this second set. They're in the correct position.
And both teams seem to be in a great position now as Brand sends another one long out of bounds. Point Hedgesville 7-6. And as this first match, or this first set and second set have now gone on, you've seen both teams get a little more comfortable in their rotations.
Yeah, some of the bugs are gone, some of the jitters are gone. They know they can play with. Ooh, nice swing. They can play with each other.
Now, Walker guy, what was the term you like to use? Try to put a hole in the floor.
Yeah.
That's going to go not out of the bounds. I thought that was going to go out of bounds based on where it bounced going in, but the back referee saying that one hit just in bounds. Great job by Hedgesville in that back line. Looked like a number 8, Maggie Kearns, and we're knotted up here at 7.
That was a good shot. He just grabbed that back line. Didn't look like it was going to, but.
Set up here at the net for Miller, sends it over. Kearns again on that back line, keeping it alive for Hedgesville. Brand will now try to send it over, drops that one in, and another great drop shot on the dive. Number 11, Grace Gum, just did what she could to keep that one up off the ground and ended up getting the point for Hedgesville. They take the lead 8-7 and timeout Musselman here in set 2. Let's take a 30-second break as well. We'll be back with the set number 2, more of set number 2 when we come back. Right now, it is Hedgesville 8, Musselman 7.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
Welcome back in as out of the timeout. A point for Hedgesville, and I don't think that's what Coach Taylor Allen drew up coming out of the timeout. Although we've mentioned it at the varsity level that it seems like Coach Sean Martz has been a little snake bitten with that one, as that'll be an ace on that back line for Kearns, and back-to-back points, and now the third ace we've seen of this match, second of the set.
Yeah, they Musselman just need to gather themselves a little bit. There's some communication issues. You can see them talking right now, trying to pick each other up, but they just need to gather themselves on this serve. It's a good serve.
Kearns again from that back line with the serve, a 3-point advantage. Now a 4-point advantage. That one too strong, out of bounds, out of the back of the court. 11-7. Now the Hedgesville advantage.
That was a terrific serve match. She just dropped that right in front of the attack line. That's really difficult to do.
Kearns again, that back line serve. Good opportunity here. Miller sends it over. Drop that one in perfectly, and on a setup opportunity, it was Paige Richmond looking for somebody at the front of the net. Nobody there. It drops in, point Musselman 11-8.
Yeah, Grace Gum giving all she's got there. She dove underneath the net. That kid's definitely, she's a player. She's going to do everything she can to get to the ball.
Now back to serve for Musselman is Micah McAvoy.
I think Musselman has what they want in the front row right now.
McAvoy with the serve, sends it to that back line, miss-hit, and now just going to have to get it over on the third hit. A high arching ball that does get over, and now a great setup opportunity here at the net. A hard serve as Hedgesville's going to have to get it over, and they do. Great opportunity by Addison Walker right at the net. Now Miller will try to drop it in. Great adjustment made by Grace Gum for Hedgesville. Another opportunity at the net, a hard swing, and that one's going to drop in for a point. And right now, Addison Walker wreaking havoc when she's on that front line.
Absolutely. She's putting that ball down, and while it was a good effort on the dig, it was just too tight on the net for anyone to do anything with.
And it seems like every time she gets the ball, you're saying, wow, she gets a good swing on that one. Setup opportunity here at the net, a good block at the net by Weatherholtz. Now drop shot coming in. Great dig on the other side, but just a little too far out in front of the diving Paige Richmond. Point Musselman. 11-10 is the Hedgesville advantage.
I'm going to pick on the back row of Hedgesville a little bit. After a couple swings from Addison Walker, that back row started to creep back again, and therefore that tip by Addison worked, or Addie worked.
Annalie, a good dig on that back line just to keep it alive, and now Walker again will send it to that back row. Didn't have time to get as much force on that one, but still got it over. And great location by number 12, Paige Richmond, locating that one perfectly in the back line. Point Hedgesville.
Yeah, back to serve right now, who appears to have doing some damage for Hedgesville, number 5.
Number 5 is Paige Elliott today. I forgot to write that on your sheet. That one going out of the back of the court, point Musselman. And you have 2 number 10s on the rosters that we had, and got the update from Athletic Director Aaron Whitford when I got here. And again, just trying to get everything on, and a bit of an oversight. But yes, number 5 is Paige Elliott.
It was fun watching you guys work.
Yeah. Glad it was entertaining for you. Good opportunity here. Walker at the net. Great kill, Addison Walker. 12-12. We're tied up here in set number 2. Again, the varsity action going to start 20 minutes after the conclusion of the JV action. And like we have done for every game so far, we will take a 5-minute break as that one going off the arm of Olivia Payne, out of bounds. Point Musselman, they take the lead. But we will take a 5 to 6 minute break after the JV game concludes, set up for our varsity action, then come back and do our pregame show, give you some updates of what is coming up soon for us after this broadcast, including a 2-game week next week. We'll tell you about that one. That all coming up in the pregame show. And then the varsity action, which should be a good one. Addison Walker sends it down very strong. Hedgesville is going to have to get it over, and they do, but now a good opportunity for the Appleman at the net. Set up at the net, a great job just getting it over McClintock. Backline opportunity having to come way back. Now Addison Walker with it and put a charge in that one, but too strong. Out of the back of the court, out of bounds. 13-13, we're tied up again.
Keep swinging, find the floor later. She'll hit a drop eventually. It's been dropping all evening.
Hannah Lee coming back in. Addison Walker. Make that Addie Miller. Going to take a seat, and that serve missing short for Grace Gum. Point Musselman, 14-13. Now another substitution coming in. Number 17 will be Gabby Money. Now in for Musselman. Serve from that back line. Now racing back up. Money at the net along with a number 21, Riley Franklin. And they were, I believe, going to block that if it got over, but didn't get the chances. That one missed short into the net. 15-13, Musselman with the advantage.
Yeah, they did a good job of reading and getting out there for the block.
Serve from that back line was Weatherholtz. Now Leo sent it sky high, and a good setup opportunity here. Walker at the net, and just able to keep it alive, and that back line was Gum. Now going to have a tough job of keeping it in, and they won't. A diving attempt out of the back of the court by number 3, Micah McAvoy. Just couldn't get it going in the right direction, as that one went about as far out of play as you could possibly send it.
They chased it down there. They still had to hustle.
Serve from the back line now for Hedgesville, 15-14. That Musselman advantage. Opportunity for Kearns here at the net, sends it to the back line. Lee will get it started. Now Walker at the end. She'll drop it in. Great location with how strong she's been coming at the net. That drop shot's deadly.
Yeah, and she kept swinging, and as a result, the back line of Hedgesville keeps creeping back, and she just saw an opening and took it.
That'll be Walker with the serve. 16-14 the advantage here for Musselman here in set 2. That serve going to go out of bounds. After going down was Dylan Roost. Going to make that play and just mistime that hit.
Yeah, that's a tough position for Rue Esselwood. Right down the line like that. She's going to dip her left shoulder and try to put it back in the court. That's difficult. It's a difficult pass.
Addison Walker on the serve again for Musselman. They have a 3-point advantage and knock that back down to 2. It sends that one a little too strong. Out of bounds. 17-15 Musselman.
Paige Richmond back to serve match. She's actually really familiar with a lot of these girls from Musselman. She plays travel with a lot of them.
Here comes that serve from Richmond. And a good serve to that back line, but just nobody in the front net after the set.
No, it's from that pass from Hannah, while she was in the right position, it just sailed too far, and there's really nothing you can do with it when it's in the net like that.
17-16 now. Musselman still with the advantage. Make that 18-16. A serving error on that back line. Musselman regains a 2-point advantage. Now it'll be Hannah Lee set to serve for the Appleman. Here's that serve by Libero getting to the back line. Now a good opportunity here at the net. Sending it over. Good dig on the other side by Walker. Sending it over. Great location. Gabby Money finding just the smack dab center of the court and nobody there. Front line was too far back. Or make that front line was too far forward. Back line was too far back. Great location by Money to drop it in a perfect location. 19-16, the Musselman advantage.
Seems they're getting in that habit like they did in the first set. The more that Musselman swings, the further back they start to drop.
Great dig on that back line by Walker. Now Brand will send it over, deflecting off of Maggie Kearns on the way over. But it drops in point for Musselman. Then I have a 4-point advantage, 20-16 in set 2.
I would expect a timeout here from Hedgesville if Musselman scores another point.
Hannah Lee on the back line. Here's that serve, just getting over. A little bit of arch to that one, as now Hedgesville's going to have to get it over, and they do as Brand will start the motion for Musselman, and now she'll send it over, hitting the net on the way over. Great diving attempt on that back line for Richmond. Hannah Lee will start it now. Walker sets it up at the net. Miller sends it over. Great dig on that back line by Ruest. Great volley here for both. Is that one going to be inbounds point Hedgesville? You could tell from our angle. I think we had a perfect angle on that one, and Hannah Lee knew it immediately as it dropped in.
Yeah, earlier we had talked about letting those close balls drop, and it's always a risky proposition because more times than you think it's going to drop and hit the line.
Serve now for Shropshire, and Lee will send it over. Lee getting a good bit of power on that one, and I think that was a lot more than Hedgesville was expecting on that. A third hit by Hannah Lee. That came over with some force.
Yeah, that's making lemonade out of lemons. They didn't get the best set, but your back row was prepared to swing, so she got a good swing on it, caused the overpass in the net, and there's nothing they could do with it.
21-17, the Musselman advantage in set 2. Here comes that serve from the back line. Kurnos, and that'll drop in for an ace. Timeout. Hedgesville on the court as they are just 3 points away, giving to Musselman to take sets 1 and 2 and the match. We'll be back with the rest of set number 2 when we come back. Timeout on the court. Let's take a 30-second timeout as well. 22-17, the Musselman advantage. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on TV 10.
He is the most interesting jeweler in the world. Celebrities ask for his autograph. When buying diamonds, experts ask him what they're worth. He once counted to infinity twice. He has his own astrological sign.
I may not sell every customer that comes into Bechtel Jewelers, but on the rare occasions when I don't, they often wish I had. Stay brilliant, my friends.
Great walking in the door there.
Welcome back in. 22-17 here in set number 2. The JV action of Musselman visiting Hedgesville. Good shot at the net. Good block at the net by number 8, Maggie Kearns. Kearns going to have to get it over, and she does as it skims the net on the way over, but a good opportunity here. Walker out of the back. Great kill by Walker from the back line.
Yeah, left them flat-footed there. I don't think they expected that. They showed from Addison, though. Addison's going to swing every opportunity she gets.
23-17. The advantage now for Musselman, just 2 points away from taking this match. Serve from the back is to Kernis, and that one too strong, point Hedgesville. (23-18) here in set number 2. Serve from the back line was Kearns. Now Miller at the net sends it over. Good job by Kearns keeping it airborne. At the net now Lee will start it. And Brand now at the net sends it over, hitting the net on the way over, but a good job by the Eagles just keeping it alive. Brand again at the net. Point Hedgesville, is that going to be a net interference?
No, I think what it looked like to me, I guess I was wrong. Mo was looking right at it. It looked to me like it went off the Hedgesville blocker. It must not have. It must have just went off the net.
Serve from that back line is short. As that serving error by Kearns going to put Musselman 1 point away from taking this match. 24-19.
Serve error in a position like that's hard to overcome.
Trying to end it here for Musselman with the serve will be Micah McAvoy. There There's that serve from McAvoy going to that back line, and that's going to be tough for Hedgesville to come back from. Third hit needs to get over, and it does. Great job by Hedgesville just to stay alive with that one. At the line, Miller sends it to the back line. It is inbounds. Point Musselman, and they'll take the match 2 games to none. 25-19, your final here in set number 2. Again, the JV takes it 2-0. Musselman beating Hedgesville. We're going to take a 1-minute break. When we come back, we'll break down the JV matchup, then take a 5 to 6 minute break and come back and set you up for the varsity action. Again, in the JV, it was Musselman winning 2-0 in 2 straight sets. Set 1, a 25-20. Set 2, 25-19. We'll be back in 1 minute. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on TV 10.
Here's to the people who put in the long hours, the ones who drive this community, take risks, create opportunities, sacrifice, volunteer, and stick with it every day. The ones who give their best for their business, their family, their community, their future. We love community business owners because we're a community-owned bank, and we're proud to be with you in business and in life. First United Bank and Trust, my bank.
If you're a hard-working man or woman, you want to get the best selection and value that you possibly can.
Hardworking folks know Appalachian Heating and Air Conditioning is the best way to get the service you need if you have a heating or cooling problem. They'll beat any written price. Offer 24-hour service with free estimates and affordable financing. 24 hours a day, call Appalachian Heating and Air Conditioning, where quality meets comfort, at 304-260-5644.
Welcome back into Hedgesville High School. The JV match has ended. Right now, 25 minutes up on the clock here. Our coverage will begin sooner than that, in about 10 minutes from now, maybe 15, but just about 20 minutes in between matches with the JV and varsity. Expecting a good one between these two teams at the varsity level. It's Musselman visiting Hedgesville. We'll break down that one a little bit more coming up here in a bit with the pregame show, which will be about 10 minutes from now. But first, let's wrap up that JV action as both teams now on the court with their warm-ups. But, Phil, it seemed pretty clear that when Addie Miller and Addie Walker were on the front line, they were the difference makers in that match.
Yeah, absolutely. And when they have a chance to swing, especially in this match anyway, Addison Walker, she swung at everything, and that takes its toll on the defense. And you kind of see as the sets went on how the back row started to creep back. So all that power pushed that defense back, and ultimately the tips and pushes were open in the middle. So they kind of had their way when they're in the front row.
Yeah, you could tell that. It was very clear when they were on that front row that it was just a completely different ball game. Again, we will be back in action with both of these teams Monday. I will have to confirm this, but the last I heard, we are anticipating being out at Loudoun County for a game coming up next Monday, and I believe that is just a varsity game out there. We'll have to talk with Coach Marks after this one and verify, but the last I heard, that was just a varsity match. But if JV's out there, we will do that game as well. But if not, our next JV game will be coming up next Tuesday. But again, if they're out there against Loudoun County, we will be too. The next match, if the JV's not out there, will be that first game against Washington coming up next Tuesday. All right, that's going to wrap up our coverage for the JV portion of this doubleheader. We're going to take a 6-minute break, and when we come back, we will start our pregame show for the varsity action. It's Hedgesville welcoming Musselman. Again, your final from the JV match. It was Musselman taking it in 2 sets, 25-20 in set 1, 25-19 in set 2. The varsity action next. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution, you know, they know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
The EPAN Travel Volleyball Club would like to wish the local high school volleyball teams good luck with their 2019 season. We look forward to seeing all players ages 12U through 17U at our 2020 tryouts in November. The EPAN Volleyball Club has been West Virginia's leader in travel volleyball since 2001. The EPAN Volleyball Club is affiliated with the Chesapeake Region Volleyball Association and AAU USA Volleyball. Tryouts are usually held at Musselman High School. To register, email epan2@gmail.com or go to www.epanvbc.com.
As a mom, when I'm making dinner for my family, I want the best and healthiest food for them. That's why I get my meats from D&D Meats. Their meats are fresh, locally sourced, and hormone-free, chemical-free, and antibiotic-free. D&D Meats is also family-owned, so I know when I go in with a special request for my large family events that I'm going to get treated just like family. D&D Meats, located across from Musselman High School at 8488 Winchester Avenue, Inwood. What are you feeding your family tonight?
At Anthony's Pizza Inwood location, nobody does it better. We make our own dough and we bake it fresh twice daily. That's freshly baked twice a day to make sure your pizza always tastes great. Take advantage of our Anthony's Pizza special offer. Get 2 large one-topping pizzas, just $17.99. And when you buy 3 12-inch subs, the 4th one's on us. For the best in freshly made pizzas, subs, calzones, stromboli, lasagna, and more, it's got to be Anthony's Pizza, 372 Middleway Pike in Inwood. Call 229-7373 for delivery, anthonysmenu.com. Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
He is the most interesting jeweler in the world. Celebrities ask for his autograph. When buying diamonds, experts ask him what they're worth. He once counted to infinity twice. He has his own astrological sign.
I may not sell every customer that comes into Bechtel Jewelers, but on the rare occasions when I don't, they often wish I had. Stay brilliant, my friends.
Here's to the people who put in the long hours, the ones who drive this community, take risks, create opportunities, sacrifice, volunteer, and stick with it every day. The ones who give their best for their business, their family, their community, their future. We love community business owners because we're a community-owned bank, and we're proud to be with you, in business and in life. First United Bank and Trust, my bank.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
He literally saved my life. It's just mind-boggling to me that he was able to do what he did.
We're able to affect much more of a difference for our patients with these resources.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
They treat you great, and they're down to earth in the West Virginia way that all West Virginians treat each other.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
The following is a sports broadcast presentation of TV 10 Martinsburg. It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school volleyball, featuring the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference and the Musselman Applemen. Today's play-by-play coverage is being brought to you by
The Marius Group. Start planning for a brilliant future. The Eastern Panhandle Volleyball Club, West Virginia's leader in travel volleyball since 2001. D&D Meats at 8488 Winchester Avenue, Inwood. Anthony's Pizza. Nobody does it better. Dave Pippenbrink State Farm Insurance. Call 304-229-0029 today. Panhandle Dumpsters, because you have a choice. PanhandleDumpsters.com. Bechtel Jewelers, West Virginia's largest Pandora retailer. My Bank First United. Bank Local. And by Appalachian Heating and Air Conditioning, where quality meets comfort.
Standing by is our TV 10 broadcast team. Let's head to the court and get today's pregame show and play-by-play coverage underway.
And a very pleasant good evening around the Eastern Panhandle, or wherever you may be tuning in. Welcome into West Virginia high school volleyball. It's Tuesday night. So again, that's not only tacos around the Eastern Panhandle, but it is volleyball Tuesday night on TV 10. It is Musselman, the first time we've traveled on the road with them, but not too far to go. We're at Hedgesville. It'll be the Eagles welcoming Musselman here tonight in the JV match. It was a 2-0 win in a best-of-3 match for Musselman. And Phil, I am really looking forward to this one.
Yes, I am too. This is, when these guys have met the last couple of years, it has been absolutely electric. So going the full 5 sets, back and forth matches, struggles, whether it be on the front row, back row, contending with each other's powers. It's a great game, so I'm expecting no less tonight.
That's the voice of volleyball Phil from Bunker Hill, Phil McCoy. I am Matt Crawford, Eric Sterrick, our on-site producer / cameraman, and John Alderton running our main cam at the net tonight. And a big thanks to Caleb Falero back at the studio. Well, Phil, the last couple of weeks we've been talking about tournaments for this Musselman volleyball team, and they were coming off of a couple over the last couple of weeks, but the last time they were on the court was the last time we saw them last Tuesday, so some well-needed rest for this team, and I think it'll do them good. It was a marathon to start this season, like it always is for Coach Marks and this squad.
Yeah, it's good for them to get a break. They got some a couple days off of practice, to where they would just watch films, maybe some lighter practices. But those tournaments do, while they get a lot of benefit from them, it does wear them out after a while.
All right, so you say watch film. And is it the same as in any other sport where you're watching your own position, just looking at footwork, looking at specific plays you want to run or locations of where you should be? I know in that JV match you were talking about certain positioning of backline players compared to frontline players. When these girls watch film with the coaches, what exactly are they looking for?
Well, more than anything, they're looking at mistakes that they make, some bad habits that they pick up, but oftentimes that they don't know that they're doing. So referring back to the JV game, how the back row was playing too deep, often they weren't getting back to base. Well, in the heat of the game, you don't really know that you're doing that until you actually see yourself doing it on film, and then you can go out and correct it. And you know how it feels differently. Same thing with your swing. If you're not getting your elbow back, or the setters aren't carrying their hands high enough, so forth and so on. But when you can see it on film, you can see your own mistakes, and someone's just not telling you. And then when you go out and do it again, you can feel it a little bit. So Musselman, and I don't know how the other coaches are, but Musselman really focuses on what they're doing opposed to what the other team does, and knowing that if they do what they're supposed to do, they'll be just fine. Now, as the game progresses and so forth, and you may see tendencies from teams that maybe they play too far back, or their opposite doesn't block, or opposite's late, so forth and so on, they'll pick those up. But that's normally done on the coach alone, and then he'll relay that information to the players.
This Musselman team led by Sean Martz, while the Hedgesville Eagles led by Joy Van Dyne. They come in 13-7-2, and like Musselman did at the beginning of the season and on the weekends, last weekend for this Hedgesville team, it was going all across Pennsylvania, several games or several matches last Saturday going all across the state to the north, and just one win, a couple of ties in the best-of-3 sets, but it did not fare well in that trip across Pennsylvania. So we'll see how they look, if they are a little refreshed after a few days off, or whether those losses still sticking in their head. But in this area, and you and I have talked about this, when it comes to teams from this area going out of state, you don't necessarily look at the wins and losses. You look at how you've grown, because a lot of times in those tournaments, you're seeing the best of the best from other states.
Yeah, and Hedgesville does the same thing. They're going for tournaments, trying to find the absolute best competition that they can find to prepare them for the run at state. So I wouldn't be fooled by the record, because they're doing the same thing Musselman's doing. They're finding the best teams that they can play and playing those. So there's no lackluster teams in those tournaments that they've been to.
12:20 left on the clock here at Hedgesville before we're going to start this one. Caleb, let's go ahead and take a 2-minute timeout. Then when we come back, we will talk about some players to watch in this one. Of course, for our Phil McCoy, a couple familiar faces that he has coached or at least been around for a while on both sides. We'll take a look at players to watch from both teams next after this 2-minute timeout on the pregame show. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on TV 10.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
At Anthony's Pizza Inwood location, nobody does it better. We make our own dough and we bake it fresh twice daily. That's freshly baked twice a day to make sure your pizza always tastes great. Take advantage of our Anthony's Pizza special offer. Get 2 large one-topping pizzas, just $17.99. And when you buy 3 12-inch subs, the 4th one's on us. For the best in freshly made pizzas, subs, calzones, stromboli, lasagna, and more, it's got to be Anthony's Pizza, 372 Middleway Pike in Inwood. Call 229-7373 for delivery. Anthony'sMenu.com.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Welcome back into Hedgesville High School. We're in the pregame show. It's Musselman taking on Hedgesville tonight in varsity volleyball action. We had the JV game of this doubleheader like we do every Tuesday and will throughout the rest of this month. Again, we'll give you what's coming up next as the game goes on, leave it into the post-game show. But as Hedgesville gets in their warm-ups right now, Phil, let's take a look at some players to watch in this match. And let's start with the ones warming up right now with the Hedgesville Eagles.
Yeah, Hedgesville's got a good mix of power and speed up on that front row. Starting with the sisters, Skylar and Mackenzie Yates. We just saw Skylar get a hold of one from the outside there. That she can absolutely cause damage, and she can hit any ball, any set. So it doesn't have to be perfect for her. She's going to find it. Over here at opposite, we just saw Kelsey Turbin. She's one that's been around for a while. She's got a heavy hand, and she can hit the ball straight down. So there's a lot of power on the Hedgesville side. Some to really watch for. They're replacing an all-state setter and Erica Link with, it looks like a couple with Kaylin Hott and Danica Prop. So there's a lot of pressure on them. And then, of course, Emily Neely, who's taken the place of Peyton Ruiz from last year. So a lot of pressure on some of these new players, much like you see with Musselman. Musselman's replacing some players as well. So they're certainly familiar with each other and familiar with each team. So it's going to be exciting to see how this turns out.
All right, how many players on this Hedgesville team have you coached at one point or another?
At one point or another, and I don't know if she remembers it, but Emily Neely played for my rec league volleyball team, so number 2 there, and that was a long time ago. Then for years, Emma Sabora, who's an all-around good player, she can cause damage anywhere on the court, whether it's serving, passing. She can do just about everything. She's like a utility knife. So I'm sure we'll hear her name a lot. But only 2 over here as I look out now. On the JV team earlier, there were 4 or 5 out on the floor. That coach had actually texted a couple mothers just a minute ago. I don't know if it went through or not, but but there's a lot on both sides that I'm familiar with.
All right, let's switch now to Musselman. Obviously, we've been out here. This is now the third week of doing these, so you're getting an idea of who to watch. But who in this match in particular do you see playing a big role?
In Musselman's offense, it's almost always the case where the outsides have to get off. They've always got really good, powerful outsides, and in this case, tonight it's Hannah Howard and Faith Ketterman. And if their swings are down, that's where the majority, if you'll notice, the serves are going. But they've always got that mix with Sadie Wright and Lena Rainey playing middle, and Danica Faircloth and Caroline Shipley in opposite. So there's where Musselman's a little bit different than a lot of teams that you play, is any position they put out on the front row, they've got a lot of power. So they just keep coming in waves, and there's really no blank spot. And, of course, Madigan Faircloth, Danica's younger sister, is always going to be important because she's going to pass the majority of the balls.
Phil, 7 total freshmen in this match today. How much do you attribute that to the success and the good coaching at the youth level, preparing these girls for what's to come at the high school level, not just at Musselman, for Hedgesville as well? They've got 3 freshmen that should see some action today as well.
Yeah, a lot of it is, I mean, it's not so much, I don't want to give too much credit to coaching, but yeah, they're getting taught the right thing, and it's consistently the same thing. So as they go and start playing at age 7, 8, and 9, they're hearing the same keys, they're getting the same feedback now that they got then. They're hearing the same things, and if you listen close enough, you'll certainly hear Musselman side saying, hey, hands and wrists together. They were hearing that since they were 7 and 8 years old, and simple movements, straight and simple, and so you'll hear all these same exact keys that they heard then. So a lot of it is just familiarity, and to some point, although I'm a parent of one of these kids, you got to give the parents credit, because it's them that's taking them to and from these practices and these clubs in the off season and so forth.
Musselman now on the court getting in their warm-ups. So let's go ahead and take another 2-minute timeout. And when we come back, we should be getting awful close to the national anthem. Go through these lineups top to bottom, or rather these rosters top to bottom, and the names and numbers you will see in this match. And then we will be ready for volleyball. It's Hedgesville welcoming the Musselman Applemen in a regional battle, a rival of Berkeley County between the Eagles and the Applemen. That'll coming up next after this 2-minute timeout. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on TV 10.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
He literally saved my life. It's just mind-boggling to me that he was able to do what he did.
We're able to affect much more of a difference for our patients with these resources.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
They treat you great, and they're down to earth in the West Virginia way that all West Virginians treat each other.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
Welcome back into Hedgesville High School. Warm-ups underway now for the visiting Musselman Applemen. The first time we've seen them on the road this year, 2 home games since we started our Tuesday night volleyball action. Next Tuesday they'll be back at home, but again Monday we are hoping to travel down to Loudoun County and get at least the varsity action in, but stay tuned to the TV10 Facebook page. We'll give confirmations, and whether that'll be a JV varsity doubleheader or whether that is just varsity, still waiting on confirmation from that. But what we do know is tonight we have a good one. It is Hedgesville and Musselman, and this is one that is one you circle every year on the calendar. And Phil, you've been around this rivalry from the youth league level up. Just tell us what makes this match so special year in and year out.
Well, a few things. First of all, it's how competitive it is. These teams aren't afraid of each other. I can tell you right now that some teams may get ready to play Musselman and or Hedgesville with a bit of apprehension, and there's none of that right now. They're itching to get at each other. Not that there's a hatred, but there's a healthy competition because in large part they all know each other. They play with each other in the rec leagues that we talk about a lot. They played with each other on the club level that we talk a lot about in the wintertime. So they're all really familiar with each other. You'll see a lot of pictures being taken after the match, but right now it's all business. They're not even looking at each other.
Now, last year in the regular season, while they all went deep into the sets, it was Musselman getting the better in all the regular season matches last year. And Phil, you'll have to fill me in because I know the regular season went all Musselman, but in the playoffs, Hedgesville was sticking right around as well, right?
Yeah, and the way the playoff format works in volleyball, there's sectionals, which Hedgesville beat Musselman at home in the section to win the section. But then you have to go play the regionals, and then they got to play again just a few days later, and then Musselman took it back. So you actually had two champions out on the court that went down to Charleston, one for the section and one for the region. So they kind of went back and forth at Musselman the last time they played. And the amount of sets, I want to say it was Hedgesville won in 5. And if memory serves me, and I could be wrong, but Musselman won in 4, but they were all very competitive.
Again, Musselman getting in their final warm-ups here, now under a minute. And real quick, Phil, before we get in the roster reads from here and the national anthem and all the fun housekeeping stuff that happens before a game, give me some keys for both teams. We've seen Musselman obviously a lot more this year. First time we're seeing Hedgesville. But in the last 2 weeks against Jefferson and Martinsburg, you've said it is not the best volleyball that Musselman could play. What do they need to adjust in the last week of practice to come out and play their best volleyball here tonight?
And by and large, it's unforced errors, and that's missed serves, hitting the ball out, hitting the ball in the net. And those are going to happen, so you're not going to eliminate them completely, but you've got to reduce those. And the same thing for Hedgesville. When you play a good team, it's very difficult to win if you have too many unforced errors. Now, errors are going to happen. Just like any sport, they're going to happen. You can go ahead and accept it, it's going to happen. But you've got to minimize those, move on from them when they happen, and don't let them avalanche. And sometimes you do see that in a sport where one will avalanche into more. So both teams, the same key, they need to reduce unforced errors.
And as the buzzer sounds, as does Phil McCoy, apparently good timing on that last segment as the court will now be cleaned up and referees will go to their ladders or just anywhere they need to go on the court.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
As it'll be Athletic Director Aaron Whitford that is going to double duty tonight as the public address announcer. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rosters. Actually, let's go ahead and send it down to Aaron Whitford and see a special announcement here. Couldn't quite get what that was. Did you pick that up, Phil?
I think it was a wedding. He said something about a wedding. It looks like a JV coach, maybe.
Everybody loves weddings. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the rosters in this one. For Musselman, number 2, Faith Ketterman, the junior, goes 5'10". Danica Faircloth, number 3, the senior, goes 5'9". The 5'7" freshman, number 4, outside hitter Hannah Howard. Addison Walker will wear 5. The freshman goes 5'8". Haley James, the senior, goes 5'5". She will have the number 6 green jersey on. Addison Miller, the freshman, goes 5'7", wearing number 7. Abigail McCoy, the junior, goes 5'6", number 8. The libero, number 9, Madigan Faircloth, the 5'4" sophomore. Elena Rainey, number 11, the 5'11" senior. Caroline Shipley will wear the number 14 Appleman jersey, and she goes 5'8" as a sophomore. Sadie Wright, the 6'1" sophomore, will wear number 17 tonight, and Isabella Hutzler, the freshman, goes 5'6", wearing number 25. Let's go to the Hedgesville Eagle roster. Again, they're led by Joy Van Dyne. It'll be number 1, Kaylin Haught, the junior. Number 2, Emily Neely, is a senior. You have the Yates sisters next. Number 3, Skylar, is a sophomore, while Mackenzie, who wears number 4, is the senior. Tamika Adams is a sophomore. She will wear number 5. Number 6, Emma Sobora, is a sophomore, wearing number 6. And number 7, Sadie Everhart, is a sophomore. Kelsey Van Dyne, number 8, is a freshman. Dylan Ruest is a junior, wearing number 9. Claire Hawk, a freshman, wearing number 10. Danica Probst is a sophomore, wearing number 11. Kelsey Turbin, one of the players to watch out for that Phil mentioned in the pregame show, the senior, wearing number 12. Maggie Kearns, wearing number 13. She's a junior. And Paisley Miller is a freshman, wearing number 14. There are your rosters for both teams. Let's go ahead and take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we will have the start of this one. It's Musselman taking on Hedgesville. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on TV 10.
At Anthony's Pizza Inwood location, nobody does it better. We make our own dough and we bake it fresh twice daily. That's freshly baked twice a day to make sure your pizza always tastes great. Take advantage of our Anthony's Pizza special offer. Get 2 large one-topping pizzas, just $17.99. And when you buy 3 12-inch subs, the 4th one's on us. For the best in freshly made pizzas, subs, calzones, stromboli, lasagna, and more, it's got to be Anthony's Pizza, 372 Middleway Pike in Inwood. Call 229-7373 for delivery. Anthony'sMenu.com.
He is the most interesting jeweler in the world. Celebrities ask for his autograph. When buying diamonds, experts ask him what they're worth. He once counted to infinity twice. He has his own astrological sign.
I may not sell every customer that comes into Bechtel Jewelers, but on the rare occasions when I don't, they often wish I had. Stay brilliant, my friends.
As a mom, when I'm making dinner for my family, I want the best and healthiest food for them. That's why I get my meats from D&D Meats. Their meats are fresh, locally sourced, and hormone-free, chemical-free, and antibiotic-free. D&D Meats is also family-owned, so I know when I go in with a special request for my large family events that I'm going to get treated just like family. D&D Meats, located across from Musselman High School at 8488 Winchester Avenue, Inwood. What are you feeding your family tonight?
The EPAN Travel Volleyball Club would like to wish the local high school volleyball teams good luck with their 2019 season. We look forward to seeing all players ages 12U through 17U at our 2020 tryouts in November. The EPAN Volleyball Club has been West Virginia's leader in travel volleyball since 2001. The EPAN Volleyball Club is affiliated with the Chesapeake Region Volleyball Association and AAU USA Volleyball. Tryouts are usually held at Musselman High School. To register, email epan2@gmail.com or go to www.epanvbc.com.
And we welcome you back in. The national anthem is done, and we are just about ready for action. Just waiting for the starters to go on the court. Right now, both teams will high five underneath the net, and we will get ready for action here at Hedgesville against the Musselman Applemen, taking on the Hedgesville Eagles in a huge regional and sectional rivalry. One of the bigger crowds we've seen this year, and Phil, you said that was to be expected between these two schools.
Absolutely, and I wouldn't be surprised if as the match starts, they start to trickle in a little bit more, especially with the high school sports, with Hedgesville probably practicing and finishing up here soon.
All right, you gave us the update during the JV game, but just for those who couldn't quite tune in yet, give us the score from that freshman game.
There were 2 scores. The first set was, I have to go look it up, but I want to say it was 25-2.
Yes.
And the second set finished 25-6. Was the score feedback that I'd gotten, which is quite dominating, and it's not to say anything bad about Hedgesville. Musselman's freshman team has played together for quite some time, even through rec league. It just so happened a lot of them ended up on the same team, but and they play travel, so it's a very good freshman team that Musselman has. We'll be seeing them out here sooner rather than later.
You're telling me a lot of young talent that's even not as good as some of the young talent on the court right now.
They just keep coming through.
Again, just about ready for action here. Matt Crawford, Phil McCoy is to my left. Eric Sterick, our on-site producer. John Alderton running our net and main TV 10 camera. Caleb Falero back at the studio. Hedgesville in the white uniforms. Towards the exit out into the parking lot, while Musselman in the green more towards the school exit itself. The libero for Musselman in gray, while in the Hedgesville blue and gold for Hedgesville. It'll be Musselman with the first serve tonight, and Madigan Faircloth, the libero, will get it started. Here comes that serve from Faircloth. It does get over going long, but just kept in. Good opportunity here, good drop shot, great dig by Haley James. Now Howard will send it over, finds a gap. First point going to Musselman. Great kill by Hannah Howard.
Now we see right off the bat that these girls are going to swing. You shouldn't see too many free balls coming back and forth. They're going to swing at each other, especially Yates and Howard.
Faircloth again on the serve, again going deep to that back line. See what Hedgesville can do here, sending it to their back line. Faircloth and James almost running into each other, but able to get it over. Good opportunity here at the net. A kill opportunity going way too hard out of the back, out of play. Skylar Yates, a little too much mustard on that one. 2-0. Musselman out in front early in set number 1.
Those are the unforced errors we talked about early here in the set, but she'll continue to swing and find the floor eventually.
Here comes a serve from Faircloth. Another deep one. Not necessarily hard and low like we've seen in the past. Another one too hard and again too strong. Skylar Yates struggling to find the range early in this one. 3-0. It is a Musselman advantage in set 1.
Yeah, there's 2 unforced errors right off the bat. The only thing Musselman's done is serve it and let them play it out, and it's 2 unforced errors.
Serve from Faircloth. That one a little lower and a little bit different location. Good opportunity here as that one out of bounds, a little too strong from the other Yates. McKenzie wearing the number 4, the senior, sends it too far out of bounds. Another point. Musselman 4-0, and they're off to a good start, but like you just said, I haven't had to do much for it.
No, this is not the way that Hedgesville wanted to start this match.
Faircloth on the serve, and that one we saw her go to the back line. 3 of the first 4 serves. That one flirting with flirting at that back line a little too much. Goes out of the back point. Hedgesville. Here comes that serve from Yates. Faircloth able to get it over. Set opportunity at the net. Great job by James to set it up. Now a good opportunity. Hannah Howard at the net, and that'll be deflected out of bounds in the back line by Yates. Point, Musselman.
Yeah, anytime you get a chance like that, Hannah's going to jump up and get a good swing on it. And there's 2 kills for Hannah already.
5-1 the advantage for Musselman. There's a serve from the back line. Not a great hit in that back line from Neely. And not able to get it over is Hedgesville. Point Musselman 6-1. Now the advantage.
And the majority of these points are coming from, we talk about it too much, but coming from unforced errors on Hedgesville's part.
There's that serve from the back line. Neely able to keep it airborne. Good opportunity here at the net. And that one inbounds. Great kill for Mackenzie Yates. 6-2. As Hedgesville gets their second point here in the set.
That's what they're looking for from the Yates sister, Mackenzie. She's got a great swing, hit that across court and just grab line. That's what they're looking for. So they'll continue to swing until it finds the floor.
6-2 here in set 1. Now serving will be Sabora. And a Sabora number 6 from that back line. As Faircloth gets it over, the libero from the back line. Now Yates will go to send it over. Great dig, Hannah Howard. Great opportunity here right at the net. Yates with a kill going off Hannah Howard, and it deflects off of what looked like her throat, able to come over. As watching that one go by Haley James and Madigan Faircloth, and both looked at each other thinking it was going to go out of bounds, and they misjudged that. That was inbounds by a good foot and a half.
Yeah, we talked earlier about finding the floor and some of the how Sabora was like a utility knife. She had a good serve there and then came right back and had a nice little pass to set that up.
Sabora on the serve, misses that one short, hitting the net. It won't get over. 7-3, the Musselman advantage. Now set to serve is the freshman, Hannah Howard. Howard, like she does on every serve, spiking that one hard into the ground a few times. As that one goes back, and Yates not able to send it forward. Luckily, he gets it across the net. A great spike opportunity at the net. Great job by Sadie Wright with the kill, 8-3.
Yeah, Musselman just took advantage of an easy ball, and that's exactly what they need to do to win this match tonight. So they got a good pass. It was an easy set and an easy kill.
Hannah Howard again on the serve with a good cushion so far. There's the serve. And that one out of bounds, just going too far. Out of bounds in the back of the court, 8-4 as Hedgesville catches a break. And we'll see if they can take advantage here and get a run of their own going.
Yeah, they still have a Yates up front. I'll venture to say as the night goes on, you're always going to have a Yates up front.
There's a serve. Hannah Howard going to set it up. Now, good job just getting it over. As we've yet to see a true volley yet in this one. This is the closest thing we've had yet. Good mistimed jump at the line, and Faith Ketterman wishes she had that one back. Just was a little too premature on that jump at the net.
Yeah, it was a little bit mistimed, a little bit out of rhythm from the set in the kill.
Serve from the back, going to the back. It's Faircloth with it. She will set it up. Sadie Wright with the kill. Great job. That one was not mistimed. Perfect hit as she tried to drive that one through the floor. 9-5 now the advantage for Musselman.
Early on, it looks like Hedgesville is going to have a hard time with Sadie's height.
Now here comes the serve from Sadie Wright. Low. Line drive serve does get over. Yates, too strong, goes out of the back corner of the court. 10-5, the Musselman advantage. And right now it looks like Hedgesville just trying to play the corners, play the edges, and right now just not able to get the touch they want on those shot locations.
Yeah, it's going to take them a bit to find a floor, but knowing these kids, they'll find it eventually, and some of these unforced errors will slow down.
Comes that serve from Wright, and mishit that one as it was well short, hitting the net, dropping in for a point, Hedgesville.
Have the older Yates back to serve, the younger Yates up on the front row, so we're going to have that all night.
You mentioned it, Yates on the serve. Hannah Howard now setting up the offense here for Musselman. A great drop shot at the net. Great job by Danica Faircloth. Now back to serve, number 25, Isabella Hutzler. Here comes that serve with the 11-6 advantage. Great. A dig at the back end by number 4, Yates.
Yeah, that ball is a little too tight for the setter to do anything with it. While it was a good effort to get to the ball, she should have read that a little bit sooner and made a play on it quicker.
12-6 here in set one. And, Phil, would you expect a timeout taken at some point soon by Coach Van Dyne?
Yeah, I would. If there's another unforced error or if Musselman gets a good kill, I would expect a timeout fairly soon.
Great opportunity here. Ketterman able to send it hard over, but right in the direction of an eagle. Good play at the net. A great drop shot right at the net. Coming up strong was Sadie Wright.
Lena Rainey, actually. She's great at those tips. She found the spot, and there's the timeout. She found the spot, and it's been there all evening.
Correct.
And,
number 11.
She placed the ball.
Lena Rainey. Timeout on the court. We'll take a timeout as well. We'll be back in 30 seconds. The set one so far going the way of Musselman. 13-6. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on TV 10.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
13-6 is welcome you back, and an unforced error by Hutzler, a serving error. It's going to give Hedgesville their 7th point here in the set, 13-7. That's not going back to serve. Will be Emily Neely. So far this first set, a lot of unforced errors for Hedgesville. Here is the serve. Faircloth will begin the run here for Musselman. Good play at the net. A great drop shot, but an equally good dig by Faith Ketterman sliding in.
That was a terrific job by Faith.
Ayos at the back line. Hannah Howard able to keep it airborne. This is a good setup opportunity at the net. A great dig opportunity in the back line. Will they keep it in? Here's the third shot. Can it get over? It goes out of bounds, and some miscommunication on that back line by Kaylin Haught and Emily Neely. And if you're Hedgesville, you'd like that one back.
Yeah, and you know, we've been talking a lot about unforced errors. That was not one of those. That was forced by that shot that Faith put down.
Haley James now on the serve. 14-7 the lead for Musselman here in set one. Yates able to get it over to that back line. James will set it up again. Here's an opportunity at the net. Great block at the net, but it's going to go out of bounds. Great job, Caroline Shipley getting airborne. 15-7, the Musselman advantage. James again with the serve for Musselman. That one getting to the back line. Yates, good dig to keep it airborne. Now she'll send a drop shot. Great job by Hannah Howard sliding in. And Shipley going over a great diving attempt in that back corner by Kaylin Haught. Just not able to get there quick enough. And right now, Musselman looking like a well-oiled machine. And Hedgesville just still trying to, looks like they're still trying to find their bearings a little bit.
The way that Hannah read that tip, Hedgesville didn't sell it very well, and she was right in the perfect position to play it.
Haley James has her serve skim over. But Hedgesville able to make a play on it. There's a great kill. Hannah Howard sending right to the back line. They're going to call that out of bounds. And from our angle, I don't know about you, Phil, that looked inbounds to me.
Yeah, it did to me too, but you know what? He's right there at the line, so I'm not going to debate it, but it was going so hard, man. She got a hold of that.
Yeah.
I said earlier, put a hole in the floor. There may be a dent right down there.
Yeah, that may be my favorite term you've used so far. Now on the serve is number 11, Danica Probst. Now, great drop shot attempt at the line, and Yates will send it over. And great eye by Haley James to let that one go out of bounds. Now 17-8, the advantage for Musselman. And the serve now is Madigan Fairclough, the libero. She got it all started here in set one. She'll send this one back to the back line. Fairclough able to put it back in. Howard's got to send it over, and she does. Good opportunity here at the net. A good block at the net as Howard sets it up, and now a good kill opportunity for number 17, Sadie Wright, and she does just that. Crossed up. Emily Neely, who was the only person on that back line, had to, kind of like a soccer goalie, had to guess where that shot was going and ended up leaning the wrong way. 18-8, Musselman advantage.
They're having a heck of a time dealing with Sadie, how high she's getting up.
And right now you could tell that they're just not in the rhythm they want to be in. There's a great serve by Madigan Fairclough. 19-8. Now the advantage. Fairclough again on the serve. Again going on that back line. She's been picking on the back line all day on the serve. Great job getting it over. Great drop shot by Kelsey Turbin. And a much-needed point here in set one for Hedgesville. They needed to slow down the bleeding a bit.
Yeah, they've been waiting for that. They've had more errors than they've had kills, so they're waiting for that.
Yates on the serve, sends it out of bounds, but Hannah Howard able to keep it in. Now back to Fairclough, who does get it over. Good opportunity here at the net. Yates sends it over with a great block at the net by Musselman. Yates again will send it to the back line. It'll go out of bounds. Point, Musselman, a good eye by Bella Hutzler. 22-9, the Musselman advantage. Right now it is all Appleman, 20-9 here in set one. We'll see if Hedgesville's got a little run in them, and you could tell that was just a mistimed ball location going up. It was Turbin and had to stop in motion and turn around just to make contact with the ball, not able to send it over the way she wanted. Going out of bounds, point Musselman.
Yeah, Hedgesville's out of sync. They need to find their rhythm right here in a little bit, or it's going to be a long night for them.
Yates will send it over. And now Hannah Howard at the net, and that kill will stay in bounds, point Musselman. Great job by Hannah Howard. We saw her miss by a narrow margin out of the back of the court a bit earlier. That one is skimming the line again, but this time it stays in bounds.
Yeah, that grabbed the line, and if it didn't, I'm not so sure someone didn't touch it.
So to that back line, and hard off of the libero on that back line. Emily Neely goes out of bounds now, 23-9 Hedgesville. And what's the conversation going to be in between sets here for Coach Van Dyne?
Coach Van Dyne is going to stay fairly calm. She's not getting too fired up right now. She's been here, done that. I've seen them lose first sets like this and come back in the second set raging. So we'll see if they can find their way.
That service from Caroline Shipley going too far out of bounds, out of the back of the court. 23-10, point Hedgesville. Sabara on the serve, gets it over. Now Shipley will set it up. Fairclough from the back line, too short, just missed timing that one. Sends it into the net. It will drop in point Hedgesville. (23-11) here in set one. Again, it's Sabara on the serve. Shipley now at the net. Hannah Howard will send it to that back line. A great dig on the back line for Hedgesville, and that was Sabara with the serve. Now Hannah Howard again. This more of a drop shot. Hedgesville played that perfectly. Now they have to get it over, and they do. Faircloth will set it up. Now Howard gets it to the center of the court. Just getting it over is Sadie Wright, and nobody there for Hedgesville. Could not be more smack dab in the center of the court, and just nobody there for the Lady Eagles. It drops in 24-11. Now the advantage, Musselman here in set one.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Coach Van Dyne will stay calm with that. A free ball that lands in the middle of the floor, she's not going to be happy with that.
Hannah Howard with the serve for Musselman. Sending that one to Yates on the back line. Now the elder Yates on the front line gets it over. Now kill opportunity in the back. Great job, Faith Ketterman. And that will end set one here at Hedgesville. Musselman takes it 25-11. Let's go ahead and take a 1-minute timeout. And when we come back, we'll talk about set one and set you up for set two. That all coming up next. Again, set one going to Musselman, 25-11. We'll be back at Hedgesville after this 1-minute timeout. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Here's to the people who put in the long hours, the ones who drive this community, take risks, create opportunities, sacrifice, volunteer, and stick with it every day. The ones who give their best for their business, their family, their community, their future. We love community business owners because we're a community-owned bank, and we're proud to be with you, in business and in life. First United Bank and Trust, my bank.
Welcome back into Hedgesville High School. Set one of this best-of-3 match going to Musselman in this regional rivalry, 25-11. We'll break this one down here in just a bit before we get you ready for set number 2. Matt Crawford here with you, along with volleyball Phil from Bunker Hill, Phil McCoy, John Alderton, our main TV 10 cameraman tonight, Eric Sterrick, our on-site producer, and Caleb Falero back at the studio. Some unofficial numbers from set one, Phil.
Yeah, I kind of kept these as we were going. We're trying to get some stats down from the floor, but the first thing I noticed from the first set is much of what happened to Hedgesville they did to themselves with unforced errors. But overall, when you're playing volleyball and there's not an unforced error, Hedgesville only won 3 of those points compared to Musselman, who for the set, by my count anyway, had 11 kills. So 11-3 when they're actually playing volleyball. And that's going to have to change for Hedgesville. Now, I've said it before. I've seen them turn that around before. I would expect nothing less but 100% effort right here. But that wasn't what we expected in the first set.
We'll see if set 2 can go more in the favor of the Hedgesville Eagles. And so far in the games we've done, that was the most dominant set we've seen from Musselman yet, and this is our 3rd game.
It was, and part of it is due to the respect they have for Hedgesville. They know they have to bring it in order to win this game.
It'll be Hedgesville with the serve to start set number 2, sending it to the back line. Faircloth will get it started here for the Appleman. Now Hannah Howard at the line will go towards that back line. Able to keep it alive is Yates. Now Yates at the line. Great kill opportunity. A dig for Faircloth on the back. It's going to go out of bounds as Hutzler not able to run it down before it drops in. Out of bounds. Point Hedgesville.
Yeah, and that's what Hedgesville is looking for, to get the Yates sisters going and Turbin on the front row, and that's exactly what she's capable of doing.
And that's the way you wanted to start if you're Hedgesville. Danica Probst now on the serve. That one will be too strong, out of bounds, point Musselman. And that's not what you wanted after gaining that 1-0 advantage in set 2.
No, you try to get some momentum going, especially after a kill like that from Yates, so that's not what they're looking for.
Madigan Faircloth now to serve it for Musselman. Yates at the line, good deflection at the net. Hutzler will set it up, and Hannah Howard will send it over. Job at the line, or at the net rather, as Haley James was expecting somebody at the front of the net, or maybe just trying to send it over. That front line didn't seem too eager to go get that one. I think some miscommunication, a mistimed hit by Haley James. It drops in point Hedgesville 2-1.
Yeah, it was a little too low, a little too flat.
Ace for Yates in the back line. Skylar Yates, the sophomore, as Haley James and Madigan Faircloth in the back line both backed out of the way a bit, thinking that one was going long. It dropped in for the third point of the set for Hedgesville. 3-1. The advantage now at the net. A great kill at the net, Sadie Wright.
Yeah, and I'm looking at where she was positioned there. She may want to be a little bit closer up in her base defense. Sadie's found a spot, and she's been taking advantage of it so far this game, this match.
3-2 here in set 2. Now sending it over. Great block at the net, but Hedgesville right there to retaliate. Sending it sky high. Does it get over? It will. And looking for a 4 hit on the Hedgesville, or they make that the Musselman bench, and they're not going to get it. Caroline Shipley sets it up, and Hannah Howard sends it over. Great block at the net by Sadie Wright. Point. Musselman were knotted up at 3. Did you see a 4th hit there, Phil?
No, I didn't. I think he may have been looking for a net call. Due to the block, it wouldn't have been a 4th hit, so I think he was looking for a net call.
Serve now for Caroline Shipley. Does get it over. And now Yates sends it to the back corner. Nobody home. Point Hedgesville.
Yeah, Yates had a good swing on that. What Hedgesville setter's going to want to do is get that ball a little bit tighter on the set, so she's not so exposed to the block. Because right at that point where she's setting it, there's nobody there to dig that if it's blocked.
4-3. Hedgesville with the advantage. Here comes that serve. Now a great job on that front line, but too strong by Danica Faircloth. Point Hedgesville.
Yeah, they'll continue to swing, but we're starting to see some more volleyball played this set.
Sabara with the serve from the back line. Misses that one short. Point Musselman. It'll be Hannah Howard now going back to serve for the Lady Appleman. Haley James taking a seat. 5-4 here in set number 2. Howard right down the middle. A high-arcing serve. Now Yates at the line will send it over. Now Wright needing to send it over, and she does. Great diving save by Turbin to keep it alive. Good opportunity here for Hedgesville, and Yates.
Nice.
Perfect location. Everybody on the far side coming towards the benches, and that left that far side wide open, and a great location by Mackenzie Yates for the kill.
Yeah, she's getting it going this set. She saw that opportunity there earlier on and took advantage of it right there. She sold it fairly well, too.
6-4 the advantage in set 2 for Hedgesville. Caitlin Haught now on the serve for the Eagles. That one skims over the net, barely getting over, but it does. Now a tough opportunity, but Yates is able to send it back over. Good opportunity now for Hedgesville. A good block at the net. But that one going to go out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a good, they had the good rhythm Musselman had going there. The blocker just couldn't quite get out there and get her shoulders turned.
6-5. Musselman back within 1. Sadie Wright now on the serve. Wright sends it right down the middle. A serve that died right as it got over the net. And now Wright able to dig one up out of the court, but not coming in quick enough. It was Caroline Shipley not able to send it over. It's going to drop. Point Hedgesville 7-5.
Yeah, I don't think Musselman was prepared for a tip there. She didn't sell it very well. She came at the net with her hand stuck straight up, so that should have been an easy read.
Mackenzie Yates now on the serve for the Eagles. There's that serve. Again, a low line drive serve just getting over. And a good job, Danica Faircloth, sending it over on the third hit. Opportunity at the net. Faith Ketterman, good drop shot. But coming in on the Great dig. Swore that one was going to hit the ground, but a great job from the back line coming in, and that one won't get over. So a well-earned point for Musselman, but great effort by Hedgesville.
Yeah, it was a great pancake. You don't see that be successful very often, but she absolutely got her hand under that ball and got it up.
Now, I had already looked to the roster to give credit for that kill. A great job by Yates on the back line. Can't say the same about that hit going sideways out of bounds into the stands, and we're knotted up at 7.
This is more of what we expected to see in the first set.
Hustler now on the serve for Musselman. Send it to the back line, and that one well out of bounds on that back line. And Sabora couldn't quite get underneath it enough as she sent that one sideways and backwards.
Yeah, and Emma, she'll get that fixed later. It's just a little tweak where she needs to dip her left shoulder to keep that ball in play. She's an experienced player. She'll get that back.
Hustler again with the serve. Musselman, their first lead of this set, 8-7. Yates at the line trying to do the same thing we saw her do a little bit earlier in the set. Send it to that far side. That one, point Musselman just staying in bounds. Great kill is going over, and Emily Neely watched that one go by. I think she assumed that one was going out by the speed and where she was on the court.
Yeah, that was a great shot by Ketterman. She was looking to grab a corner, and she did. Grab the line, and she did.
Hutzer now again on the serve and hits the top of the net, but doesn't fall over. Serving error there, point Hedgesville. 9-8, the Musselman advantage here in set 2.
A lot more volleyball going on in this set, Matt.
There is. Neely on the serve for Hedgesville. Trying to tie it up again. Howard has to send it over, and she does, getting to that back line. Good setup opportunity here. Yates sends it over. Kill for Skylar Yates, and we're tied up at 9.
Yates sisters are getting going, both of them. Looking at kills right now, they lead Musselman 4-2 in killing the ball.
Yeah, there's not been much they have not been involved in so far today for Hedgesville.
That's absolutely what they're going to need to stay competitive and win the match.
Neely sends that one hard and long out of the back of the court. Point Musselman. Bring up Haley James on the serve for the Athelman. They again regain the lead 10-9. There's the serve by James. Great dig by Yates in the back line. The other Yates sister coming up, getting it over for Hedgesville. Faircloth gets it over to Hannah Howard, who does get it over. Great net play. That'll go as a point. Musselman 11-9. There's a couple of different hands coming in, contact with the net, and that would have been a point in a couple of different ways.
Yeah, that was. We're talking a lot about volleyball. That was ugly volleyball. But I guess it still scores the same point. Referee's trying to move someone up a seat. They're not allowed to sit on that bottom row. That's playable area right there, Matt.
And we've learned that I learned that the hard way, asking you on our test run, hey, can we set up right there? No, you don't want to do that. They won't let you. James on the serve. That one hitting the net on the way over, but does get over to Hedgesville. Great dig by Faircloth from the back line. Now Howard with the kill. A great job, Hannah Howard.
That was good all the way around on Musselman's part. That was a great dig, a great set, and a great kill. Good in rhythm play.
And two defenders back there with Neely and Yates on that back line and split them perfectly. Timeout on the floor. We'll be back with set number 2 when we come back. Right now it's Musselman 12, Hedgesville 9. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on TV 10.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
I have them too.
Learning about people talking in the head of Phil McCoy and John Alderton. I'm staying out of that one. Welcome back into Hedgesville. Timeout on the floor taken by Coach Van Dyne. And still have not come out of that huddle. Now they do send their 6 back onto the court. It'll be Haley James with the serve for Musselman, and we'll see what adjustments Coach Van Dyne made in that timeout. If you're Coach Marks, I'm sure you're saying, hey, keep doing what you're doing. You're playing well.
I have a feeling the timeout was mostly just to settle them down, say, hey, you're still in this. We're just going to take a quick break and get your heads back in it.
Neely, I think, bailed out Musselman there as that serve by Haley James looked like it was going well out of bounds. Now a good opportunity. Let's see if Hedgesville can capitalize. Great job for that. Great block by Yates at the net going over. Point Hedgesville.
There could be the spark they need. That was a great block, and it was even good on Musselman's side with a little misdirection, but Yates was ready for it.
Yeah, Caroline Shipley went straight up, and coming back in off that back line was Madigan Faircloth, and it was a great block at the net by Yates, sending it almost back to that back line with the block. 12-10, Musselman. Hutzer setting it up for Hannah Howard at the net. A good block again by that front line of Hedgesville, and Shipley setting that hard to the back line, getting deflected out of bounds. Point Musselman.
Yeah, and I think that would have sailed out, and as soon as she jumped up to touch that ball, I believe she realized that, that would have been out of bounds. We talked with Danica Props. We talked about that in the JV match where they're lined up. If it's over their head, more than likely it's out of bounds.
Serve into the net, and that'll be a point Hedgesville. (13-10). Served by Yates from the back line. Too strong. Point Musselman. It'll send back Caroline Shipley on the serve. For Lady Appleman, again, that 14-10 advantage here in set 2 was Musselman in set 1. Getting the win. Great block at the net, but going out of bounds. Point Hedgesville's a good block attempt by Sadie Wright. And what looked like,
I believe it was Danica Faircloth.
Yeah, Danica Faircloth also. Making sure that was a 3 at the net, but couldn't keep it in bounds. 14-11. Now Hedgesville down by just 3 here in set 2. Hannah Howard's got to get it over, and she does. Sends it to that back line where Yates will set it up. Good job at the net here. Again, Yates trying to set it up to the front, but just it didn't quite get the leverage she wanted on that. A in-between ball that kind of looked like it crossed her up a bit.
Yeah, Hedgesville's trying to get Turbin more involved. They just can't get the set out to her where she's playing it opposite.
15-12, Musselman with the advantage. Hannah Howard on the serve. Good setup here. Yates with the drop shot, but a great dig by Faith Ketterman. Again, Yates at the line. One Yates to another. Another attempt at a drop shot, and Musselman's done a good job of adjusting Ketterman right there, and she'll try to drop one in. No dice. Good send over, good block at the net by Sadie Wright. Now Ketterman will send it over, and good volleyball being played right now, and Tamika Adams at the net trying to send it over, but just a bit too close to the net, hitting it on the way up. Point Musselman, but that may have been the best volley we've seen so far today, Phil.
Yeah, and that dig was too difficult for her to play. It was kind of low and flat and sent right at her. There's not much she could do with it.
16-12. Hannah Howard on the serve, misses that one short. Serving air, point Hedgesville. Some substitutions for Hedgesville. Now back to serve is Haught. A low line drive serve does get over. And now a kill attempt at the net. Faith Ketterman too strong on that one. Out of bounds, point Hedgesville. And they're now back within 2, 16-14 here in set 2.
They're coming back in. It looks like Musselman tried to run a go on the outside, and Faith was a little late.
Serve for Haught, getting back to that back line. Good dig. Hannah Howard. Good drop shot by Sadie Wright. Almost able to stay airborne. It was a good dig attempt on the dive by Mackenzie Yates, but not able to keep that one off the ground. And Sadie Wright with a good drop shot. 17-14. She'll go back to serve. Actually, a substitution now. It'll be Abigail McCoy coming in to serve. First action we've seen from her today.
I think the kill by Sadie, she saw something while she was up in the air and took advantage of it.
McCoy on the serve. Now Yates, kill opportunity, sends it too far into that back line. Able to keep it airborne is Musselman. And we'll get a point. Musselman What did you see, Phil?
A double come out of the setter's hand uneven, and that was fairly clear. So up ref saw that double and called it immediately.
Timeout on the floor again. Another timeout for Coach Van Dyne. We'll take a 30-second break as well. All right, now in set 2, it's Musselman 18, Hedgesville 14. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on TV 10.
At Anthony's Pizza Inwood location, nobody does it better. We make our own dough and we bake it fresh twice daily. That's freshly baked twice a day to make sure your pizza always tastes great. Take advantage of our Anthony's Pizza special offer. Get 2 large one-topping pizzas, just $17.99. And when you buy 3 12-inch subs, the 4th one's on us. For the best in freshly made pizzas, subs, calzones, stromboli, lasagna, and more, it's got to be Anthony's Pizza, 372 Middleway Pike in Inwood. Call 229-7373 for delivery. Anthony'sMenu.com.
This year.
Welcome back in to Hedgesville High School. 18-14, the Musselman advantage in set 2. McCoy on the serve. Gets it over. Now we'll get right back to her on that back line. Hannah Howard able to keep it in bounds. And a good job by Ketterman sending it over. Good play at the net. Yates, and once again, the second time she's found that spot, and over pursuing is Musselman, leaving that far front corner wide open, that far corner based on where we're sitting right in front of the stands here in the Hedgesville Gymnasium.
Yeah, if that's played correctly, it's difficult to defend. As she's seeing that, I don't know that she's selling it very well, but she's going up and she's pushing right to that corner.
Yeah, obviously a shot that Yates has perfected. She seems to know exactly what she's doing every time she gets that opportunity. Serve from the back line, hitting that on the way over. It'll count as an ace from that back line. Good serve for number 6, Emma Sabora.
It's actually Kelsey Van Dyne.
8, not a 6, my apologies. A high ball that Hannah Howard's able to run down. Musselman gets it over. Yates at the line, too strong, out of bounds. Point Musselman, 19-16. They regain a 3-point advantage.
Yeah, that was close. I have a feeling if they could have played it, they would have. That was a good swing.
Coming back in is Mackenzie Yates. And the serve from the back row was Hutzler. Yates sends it over. Now Hutzler will set it up at the net. This time jump. Ketterman sends it right into the net, but I think either way, getting blocked. Good net presence for Hedgesville. 19-17. Hedgesville back within 2 in set 2.
Yeah, they're hanging in here. They're not going anywhere, and it's important to them to be, at the very least, very competitive in this set.
Emily Neely on the serve. Low line drive serve. A great kill for Faith Ketterman.
I think that's another one that Hawk would like to have back, and she stuck that hand up there. The second she did, I think she realized it was a little too late, that would have been out.
20-17 now in set 2. Haley James comes back in, and she will have the serve. Serve for James. Not quite the low line drive. We see a lot from Musselman. And Yates sending to the back line, and I think you can look at that. Madigan Faircloth gave Hedgesville a point there.
Yeah, she wants that back. She's kind of grinning right now as she got up. She realized where she was on the floor.
And great effort. Cannot fault the effort there, diving out of the back of the court, but not quite sure where she was, as that would have been a easy out-of-bounds call and point for Musselman.
Yeah, it was an awkward play to defend, so I don't think she was prepared for it.
Point does go to Hedgesville, 20-18. And Howard sets it up to Hutzler. Now back to Howard, but a great block at the line as Howard just able to get it back over. And I think Musselman catches a few breaks there. Now to the back line, Faircloth sets it up. Hutzler over to Howard. Great dig on the backside for Hedgesville, but can't quite keep it in bounds. Great effort by Kelsey Turbin, but not able to keep it in bounds, and that was not the cleanest volleyball you'll ever see, but somebody's got to get one of those points, right?
No, that was out-of-system volleyball, and it started with a super athletic play by Hannah Howard over there in the left corner.
Madigan Faircloth on the serve. Back to Neely. Good setup here. Good block at the net, but it goes out of bounds. Good job at the net by Turbin. Point Hedgesville. 21-19.
trying to get Turbin involved in some way. They can't really get her a set over at opposite, so she hit outside on that rotation.
Yates on the serve, sends it to that back line. James sets it up, and a good job at the net. As a penalty on Hedgesville. Was that double hit?
That was a lift as it she blocked and it rolled down her body. She kind of stuck her hands up under it, tried to get it up, and just simply lifted it.
Point Musselman, 22-19. Caroline Shipley with the serve. Set up at the net for Yates, but a great block by Sadie Wright at the net. Point Musselman.
Sadie and Danica are tough to get around up there. When they're up there together, it's tough sledding for the outsides.
23-19. Musselman 2 points away from taking set 2 and taking a commanding lead here in this match. Serve for Shipley. Yates sets it up, and now she'll get it right back. Good drop shot and a mistimed jump. As I think you could tell that at the front of the net, it was Danica Faircloth and Sadie Wright expecting that to come over much harder than it did.
Yeah, she put that elbow back and sold the swing, and as soon as they came up, she tipped it right over their heads. She fooled everybody.
Sabora now going to be on the serve for Hedgesville, 23-20. Musselman ahead in this one. Haley James will start the return. Sadie Wright with the kill, and that one stays in bounds. Point Musselman.
Yeah, Sadie's causing a lot of damage up there. They've got no answer for her. There's no one big enough to really put a block up in front of her. She's getting on top of those balls quick. No answer for her so far in the first 2 sets.
Hannah Howard on the serve, and she's hoping she has the magic touch. Musselman needs just one more to take set 2. There's a setup at the net. Yates sends it too far out of bounds. Point Musselman, set Musselman, a 2-0 match lead right now for the Musselman Applemen. They take a set number 2, 25-20. We'll break down set number 2 and set you up for set number 3 when we come back. Again, Musselman takes the 2-0 match lead on 2 straight sets, 25-11 and 25-20. We'll be back to Hedgesville after the 60-second timeout. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on TV 10.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Back into Hedgesville High School, set 2. Going the way of Musselman, as did set 1. Set 1, 25-11. Set 2, 25-20. But, Phil, we definitely saw an improvement in Hedgesville from set 1 to set 2.
Yeah, there was, I think, an improvement from both teams, really, even though Musselman, the margin of victory was wider in the first set. There's a lot more volleyball going on right now. The biggest difference that I see that Hedgesville is going to have to repair is they have to get Turbin involved. She's dynamic when she gets the ball, and right now they're having a difficult time getting her set. Now, when you set the position that she plays, a lot of times you do have to have a perfect pass, or in volleyball terms, a 3-pass, so that setter can get the ball to her. But the pressure that Musselman's putting on Hedgesville is preventing that from happening. Whereas what we talked about earlier in the match, Musselman swinging from all areas on the floor, whether it's outside. We're seeing a lot of damage done by Sadie Wright in the middle, and a few times from Danica and Caroline in opposite. So they're swinging from everywhere, and that's the biggest difference right now.
Just a scheduling reminder, it's the first night following our broadcast here of Primal Conflict Wrestling on TV 10. That is scheduled to start at 9 o'clock or directly following our coverage of Musselman Volleyball tonight. Catch that on TV 10 from 9 to 10. Hannah Howard at the net. A block at the net, going to go out of bounds, but last off Hedgesville. Point Musselman.
Yeah, and that's exactly the way Musselman wants to start this. They do not want to let up here in the third set.
Haley James going to start the serve off for Musselman. Gets back to Neely. Now set up opportunity. Yates on the line. And that point going to go to Hedgesville, was it, Phil?
Yeah, it looks like they called it under the net, but under the net on each of them. You could have called it on either one. This time Musselman was called against Musselman.
Do you see that a lot of times, just offset? If they're both underneath, there's not a point in picking one?
Sometimes they'll let them go, but if one interferes and the other doesn't, and maybe she touched the net as well.
Skylar Yates on the serve does get it over. Anna Howard on that third hit does get it to the back line. Yates going to set it up. Now Mackenzie Yates on the kill. Haley James, great job just keeping it airborne. Hannah Howard now gets it back into play, and a good job getting it over for Musselman. Yates at the line, a good drop shot, nobody home. Actually coming in late was Faircloth, and now she's got to do double duty. Great job, Madigan Faircloth. Hannah Howard now at the kill opportunity, sends it over, but a great job by Mackenzie Yates keeping it off the ground.
Yeah, Hedgesville thought that play was over, as did I.
Great block at the net. Hannah Howard sent it over, but standing right at the net, number 14, Paisley Miller. 2-1 Hedgesville with the 1-point advantage here in set number 3. Skylar Yates on the serve, sends it back to Hannah Howard, who sets it up now. Hutzler back up to Howard. Howard trying to drop it in, no dice. But that one on the return will go out of bounds off of number 11, Danica Probst.
Yeah, as we saw in the first 2 sets, Hedgesville, along with getting Turbin involved, they need to reduce in on the unforced errors.
Madigan Faircloth on the serve. We're tied up at 2 here in set number 3. Sending it over on what looked like a bit of a carry. No call. Play does continue. Set up to Mackenzie Yost, blocked at the net. It's going to go out of bounds. Finally hitting down. A great effort by Skylar Yates, diving for that one, but just wasn't able to send it the direction she wanted. Point Musselman, 3-2 the advantage for the Applemen.
Yeah, they kept playing the ball. I'm not quite sure that ever cleared and would qualify as a block. I think it hit into the net, and they just continue, which is a heads-up play, continue playing it.
Good job at the net. That's going to be a kill for Kelsey Turbin on that back line. Just not quite able to adjust to the speed of that one.
That's why you want to get Turbin involved in the game. She's got a great swing.
And we've seen her very dangerous when involved. It's just been, like you said, the matter of getting her involved. That's been tough. Sabora on the serve, misses that one short. Serving error, point Musselman 4-3. They regain the lead. Caroline Shipley will now send it away for Musselman. Sends it to that back line. Good setup opportunity here. Yates will send it to that back line. Great job by Faircloth, but a good opportunity here for Hedgesville, and they take advantage. Mackenzie Yates on the kill, going off the left arm of Haley James.
Yeah, good heads-up play by Mackenzie, making Musselman pay for that overpass. Although it was a great play by Madigan to get there, it was indeed an overpass that Mackenzie made them pay for.
And a top shelf toss back in by Athletic Director Aaron Woodford. Serve now for Hedgesville. That one misses short, and I believe that's back-to-back serving errors for the Eagles. That one coming from Kaylin Haught.
Yeah, let's circle back around to the story of unforced errors. Right now, Musselman has 5 points. 3 of them they were just given to them on the part of Hedgesville.
Now brings up Hannah Howard on the serve for Musselman. She sends that one over. Now playable for Hedgesville. Yates sending to that back line, and Hannah Howard wanting some assistance, saying that one was out, but no dice by our back line official. That's going to go inbounds, point Hedgesville, and we're tied at 5.
Yeah, he called that in immediately. I couldn't really see it from where they were standing. He's getting a bit of an argument from Coach March right now, but he was standing right at the line.
Serve upcoming here for Hedgesville. That was number 8, Kelsey Van Dyne. Good drop shot coming in. Great dig. However, on the other side, Kaylin Haught able to send it over, and that was a case where I think that Haught caught Musselman flat-footed. I think they were expecting that one to drop in. It did not. A great dig by Haught and sending it right back over, point Hedgesville.
Yeah, that was a good job on Haught with the pancake, and also with the other player that had the ball coming right at her, just to have the awareness to get it straight over the net. There was not much else you could do with it.
6-5 the advantage. A good kill at the net, deflected, going sideways, but does drop in for a point for Musselman. Great job by Faith Ketterman.
Yeah, that was all in system. It was a good set. She left on time, in rhythm. It was a good shot.
6-6. Tied up here in set number 3, as it'll be Abigail McCoy on the serve. McCoy sends that one deep. Good tap over by Haught, but able to set it up for Ketterman. A great block at the net. Number 5, Tamika Adams, going to get credit with that one. And Hedgesville regains the lead 7-6.
That was a great block. It started with a good shot by Hedgesville and a good dig by Musselman, but that block was too much to handle.
Emily Neely will try to start a run here for Hedgesville. They have the 1-point advantage. See if they can open that lead up a bit more. Ketterman sends it over, and they will open it up a bit more. Ketterman spikes it into the net. Point Hedgesville 8-6.
That's how Hedgesville wants to start off. They've got to get their confidence back if they're going to climb back into this match.
Neely again on the serve. Sends it to that back line. Not the best set. Comes back over. Hannah Howard sets it up, and now she'll have to send it back to that back line. Neely. Now we'll start the return for Hedgesville. Great kill too far. Yates sending it too strong. Out of bounds. Past that back line. Point. Musselman 8-7. The Appleman back within 1.
Yeah, they need to stay aggressive. She just kind of missed that ball and hit off her fingertips, sailing way too far on her.
Hutzler now on the serve for Musselman. Set up here for Yates at the line, but a block at the line. Faith Ketterman.
Lena Rainey there, she timed that perfectly. So they've gotten very little done in the middle, and that's one of the reasons why it was Lena, Rainey, and Sadie right up front.
Serve again for Hutzler, sending it to that back line. Not the best return, but Yates able to send it back over. Great dig by Sadie Wright, just to keep it alive. Yates now sends it to that back line. Hannah Howard with the first set. Now missed time jump. Lena Rainey will send it into the net. Point Hedgesville.
Yeah, I'm going to give a little correction there because that's things that Lena does great, but that was a dig by Lena Rainey just a minute ago. But not to pick on her, but then she finished with the hitting error. Set to serve it away for Hedgesville is Danica Probst. Hedgesville the 9-8 advantage. Sadie right at the net. That one's blocked down. Good job by the front line of Hedgesville. Another great block at the net. Could tell it was a Paisley Miller up front, number 14. Also, Kelsey Turbin. Yeah, doing much better. Hedgesville doing much better timing these blocks. It seems like they've. I don't have official stats, but blocking wise, doing much better this set.
Props again with the serve. Musser sets it up for Sadie Wright, who does get it to that back line of Hedgesville. Now an opportunity for Yates. A good drop shot is playing flat-footed in the middle was Faith Ketterman. Only able to lean one way. Couldn't move the feet quick enough. 11-8 now the Hedgesville advantage.
Yeah, Caroline Shipley thought she saw something. Hedgesville was ready for it and took advantage of it.
Hannah Howard's got to get it over, and she does. Yates will now set it up at the line. Great job just keeping it in a couple different times as Yates sends it too strong past that back line. It's a great job by Kelsey Turbin a couple different times. Just putting the volleyball back in bounds and keeping that play alive.
Yeah, they didn't win that point, but you can see how different they are with Kelsey swinging over here at Kelsey Turbin swinging over here at opposite.
11-9 Hedgesville the advantage in set 3. It's been Musselman in the first 2 sets. Haley James now on the serve. She'll send it over. That one inbounds. Ace, Haley James.
Yeah, it was difficult to read. It came across court. They thought it was going out, but we said something in the JV game about letting balls fall that you think they're out. A lot of times that's a mistake.
11-10. Musselman back within 1. Hedgesville trying to preserve this lead. Serve again for Haley James. Yates will start the return. Now Turbin will send it over. Great kill, Kelsey Turbin.
Yeah, look where Kelsey's playing over there. We talked earlier about trying to get her the ball, get her involved. They had her hitting outside in that rotation because that's a place where it's easier to set outside than it is anywhere else.
12-10, the Hedgesville advantage. That'll be Skylar Yates on the serve. Hannah Howard, a good job just keeping it in, keeping it alive. Now she'll send it back over to the back line. Neely will start the return for Hedgesville. Faircloth sets it up very high. Now Hannah Howard sending it over. Neely again will start the return. Now Turbin, a little drop shot, but Haley James right there. Hannah Howard, a drop shot, perfectly placed. A great pancake, but they're going to say it hit the ground.
Yeah, have them go back. They didn't win the point, but it looked like Kelsey was going up to swing with the right hand, then tipped it with the left. I was kind of impressed with that.
Point Musselman, 12-11. The Hedgesville advantage. Madigan Faircloth on the serve, sends it back to Neely. Yates now at the net. Great kill. She came up, timed that perfectly, put a good swing into it. And I'm thinking there's a dent on the court right there, too, now.
Yeah, she absolutely got a hold of that. Setter seemed to be in a little bit more rhythm in this set for Hedgesville as well.
Serve now for Hedgesville. James will set it up. Start the return as Caroline Shipley sends it over. Great dig. And great net play by both. Now point going to go to Hedgesville. What did you see there, Phil?
I didn't see anything. I think what the referee had seen, we talked before about putting a ceiling on the ball. I didn't exactly see it from where we're standing, but the call was on Sadie Wright for putting a cap on the net.
I'm not sure Coach Marks saw anything either based on the fact he got about halfway onto the court. 14-11, Hedgesville with a 3-point advantage. Turbin sends that one to the back line. Faircloth able to keep it in. Now Hannah James going to set it up at the net. Hutzler now coming up. Hannah Howard, great block, but out of bounds.
Yeah, not
Point,
getting her shoulders turned.
(14-12). And this has been around the lead that Hedgesville's been able to keep most of this set. A 1 to 2 point advantage. They've extended it out to 3 or 4. But Musselman not letting it get any larger of a deficit than that. Set up at the net. Yates will send it over. Good net play by the front line as Shipley will toss it over. It does get over the net. And a good setup here again. Yates, but a block at the net. Out of bounds. Point Hedgesville.
Yeah, same thing on the other side of the net there, where they were there and ready. They were there, but they didn't quite get their shoulders turned.
We've seen Sadie Wright right at the net along with Danica Faircloth, and they've wreaked havoc at the net this entire match. 3-point lead again for Hedgesville. Hannah Howard at the net, a hard kill, and there's a second opportunity, but they're going to call point Hedgesville.
Yeah, it looks like she's calling Hannah in the net, I want to say that she called. It was it was an overpass dig from Hedgesville that Hannah took advantage of, but apparently she hit the net at some point.
16-13, now a 3-point advantage for Hedgesville. Good setup opportunity. Yates to Yates. And now Shipley. Faircloth now setting it up, and great dig in that back line by Caroline Shipley. Hannah Howard deflected at the net, but able to get it over as Faith Ketterman. Yates sends it into that back corner. It is going to skim inbounds. Point Hedgesville on the kill. 17-12. Hedgesville has the 5-point advantage. Timeout taken by Coach Sean Marks of Musselman. We'll take the 30-second timeout as well. We're back in 30. In set 3, it's Hedgesville 17, Musselman 12.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution, they know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
Welcome back in. Following the timeout, it'll be a Hedgesville serve. They hold a 5-point lead here in set number 3. There's the serve, and that's the break Musselman needed after the timeout, a serving error.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit out of sync. They need to make sure they keep the pressure on and try to end this in 3. You don't want to let this crowd get into it and get the excitement back in Hedgesville.
Hannah Howard now on the serve. Musselman behind 4. Here's that serve for Howard. Yates will start to send back, but a great job at the net by Musselman. Once again, playing strong at the net is Faith Ketterman. That one going to drop in point Musselman.
It looked like Faith and Sadie were out there waiting for it.
Once again, Howard on the serve. Once again to that back line. Good pancake. Not quite a great pancake, as they are going to say that it hit the ground. A great effort by Hall. We've seen a couple of good pancakes from her today. That one just not quite quick enough on the first missed time hit by Mackenzie Yates on that back line.
Yeah, Musselman's getting a little bit of momentum here. Hedgesville's going to need to get a good swing.
At 17-15. There's Yates sending it deep to that back line. Out of bounds. Point Musselman, and a three-point swing quick following the timeout. And I think if you're Coach Marks, that's exactly what you wanted to see following the timeout.
Yeah, and I'm sure Coach Van Dyne's she's probably getting a little bit nervous. They had a comfortable lead that's withered quickly.
See if Musselman can tie it up here. Hannah Howard with the serve again, going towards that back line. Low and hard. Yates going to send it back to Howard on that back line. Shipley set up at the net. A great block and a great dig sending it over for Howard. Great front line play by both teams. Yates sending it over. Good block, but it's going to go out of bounds. Point Hedgesville.
That's another case. That was a quick set where Musselman's blockers didn't quite get their shoulders turned.
So Hedgesville stopping the small run of 3 straight by Musselman to get back to within 1. They've now extended the lead back out to 2, 18-16 here in set 3. Good set at the net. Shipley on the kill. Point Musselman.
That's Sadie Wright. The same thing she's been doing all day. Sadie's been on fire there in the middle. They've got no answer for her.
Musselman back within 1, 18-17. It'll be Abigail McCoy back in on the serve. There's that serve from McCoy. Yates going to set it up. Going back to that back line. Too strong by Tamika Adams. And we're tied up at 18. Four of the last 5 have gone in favor of Musselman. And there's McCoy on that serve again. Shipley with the good set. Great kill, deflecting off of Hedgesville on the way out. No, they're going to, he had deflection. I was going to say we had both officials giving a different version of what happened. Clearly, it tipped on the way out by Mackenzie Yates. And the near official to us saw it, and the far one did not. But a good job by the officials working together, and Musselman regains the lead. McCoy on the serve. That one skims the net on the way over, and a tough play before Kaylin Haught. She just had to make contact, sent it too far out of the back of the court. 20-18, Musselman now has the advantage, and what a run for the Appleman, Phil.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need, and then they've got Danica involved, Danica Faircloth involved over at opposite. She got a great swing on it. I don't know that it would have mattered. Yates was uncertain whether or not she should play the ball and ended up tipping it, but either way, that ball is going down.
See what adjustments both coaches make. As Hedgesville now back on the court. Again, maybe one of those cases where Coach Van Dyne just wanted to settle everybody down a bit, or at least pause the momentum that Musselman had gained.
Started slipping away from him a little bit there after Musselman's timeout.
McCoy again on the serve for Musselman. Once again to that back line. Yates with it. Skylar Yates will send it to that back line. Hannah Howard will send it back across. Actually a good kill as Hannah Howard set up Faith Ketterman for the kill.
Yeah, that was a great in-system play by Hannah. It was a good dig, good pass, good swing. Sage all up.
21-18. Let's call that an 8-1 run for Musselman, and an ace on the serve for Abigail McCoy. 22-18. Great location, great serve from McCoy, and she's been consistent since coming in.
Yeah, we talk a lot about those floats, and they're hard to read. And that's what, if you notice, she's got a good float serve, and it just kind of wobbles around. You don't know quite sure what it's going to do.
McCoy on the serve, 22-18. Yates on the kill, blocked at the net again. That time, Danica Faircloth and Alina Rainey. It's going to go out of bounds. Point Hedgesville. See if they can mount a rally of their own. Behind 3, 22-19 here in set 3. They need to rally a bit if they want to keep this match going. First 2 going in favor of Musselman. First 2 sets, that is. Emily Neely on the serve. Good opportunity. Here's a ball hit too strong out of the back. They're looking for a deflection as Musselman, but they're not going to get it. Point Hedgesville 22-20.
No, it looks like I'm not sure if someone tipped that or not. It looked like it did possibly, but those are hard to tell.
Neely on the serve. That's Faircloth will set it up for Musselman. Good job at the net, a drop shot. Great dig by Hotler, but it's going to go too far, out of bounds. Point Musselman.
It's great awareness. Great awareness by Faircloth. As soon as that ball came back over, her instincts were to jump up and take a crack at it because that's what she likes to do. But she knew as soon as she started to jump, hey, this is going out, and just let it go.
Bella Hutzler now in for Musselman. She has the serve as that one out of bounds. An untimely missed hit by Mackenzie Yates. She has been so good today, and if there was a time that you couldn't have that kind of mishap, it was right now. Musselman 1 point away from taking this match in three straight sets. Try saying that 5 times fast. Great dig by Faircloth. Good opportunity here. Too strong for Faith Ketterman, out of bounds. Point Hedgesville.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say earlier that it seems like Musselman's won, and they haven't won this set yet, but they lead in this set in large part due to aces. I think by my count they have 5 aces, and we didn't see that in set 1 or 2. And also in this set, Hedgesville's unforced errors are outweighing their kills.
Profs on the serve. Faircloth will send it high. And now Ketterman sending it over. Neely will start the return as Yates sends it back over. And Ketterman, I think, saved that one from going out of bounds. From our angle, look, that one had a little too much mustard on it to not go out of bounds, but throwing her hands up and keeping it in was Faith Ketterman. 24-22.
This match isn't over yet.
And Hedgesville down by 2. Probst on the serve. Ketterman, good dig. Hannah Howard will set it up, and Shipley will send it over. Yates has to get it over, and she does. Good opportunity here for Musselman, and that'll be inbounds, and that will be your match. Great job by Musselman coming back here in set number 3, and they take it in 3 straight sets, 25-11, 25-20, and 25-22. We'll tell you all about it and even give you some final stats when we come back in the postgame show, along with setting you up for our next broadcast, really next 2 that are going to take place next week. All that coming up in the postgame show after this. A 2-minute timeout. We'll be back in 2 minutes and wrap this one up again in 3 straight sets. Musselman beating Hedgesville 25-11, 25-20, and 25-22. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on TV 10.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
As a mom, when I'm making dinner for my family, I want the best and healthiest food for them. That's why I get my meats from D&D Meats. Their meats are fresh, locally sourced, and hormone-free, chemical-free, and antibiotic-free. D&D Meats is also family-owned, so I know when I go in with a special request for my large family events that I'm going to get treated just like family. D&D Meats, located across from Musselman High School at 8488 Winchester Avenue, Inwood. What are you feeding your family tonight?
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
Welcome back into the post-game show. We'll have a couple of interviews with two players coming up here in a few moments. But first, Phil, let's take a look at some of these stats from this one, if you have them. Again, these aren't official stats, but just the ones that we were able to keep up here. Take us through not only set 3, but what you saw overall in this match.
Well, in set 3, I found it really interesting how aggressive Hedgesville played. That was more the Hedgesville team that we expected. Albeit they had 11 kills in that set, so they played volleyball much better. They still had an abundance of unforced errors, which ultimately cost them the match. Now, Musselman, as the sets went on, their unforced errors continued to go down. So from the standpoint of playing volleyball, the second and third set looked so much better than what the first set did for both teams, really. So, but overall, that was good volleyball on the part of Musselman.
All right, we now have our first interview. And Madigan Faircloth will start it off. You're going to be okay, I promise. I promise. The libero here for Musselman. And just thoughts on the win, a rivalry game. What did you see in your team today?
I just really think our communication stepped up during this game. Compared to the last game, we really just executed what we needed to do.
Yeah, and Madigan, I don't know if you can hear me or not. Can you hear me okay? And one thing I noticed, especially with their hitters, with Turbin and the 2 Yates, that you guys really never let them get a run on you. It was either blocking or a dig, so I thought that was huge. Did you guys do anything different to prepare for those 3?
I think we just really pushed during practice and focused on certain skills that we needed to get better on, so
good.
It really helped us improve.
Great job.
Thank you.
When you look at that first set that you guys dominated 25-11, obviously that's probably a little false advertising, if you will, based on the way that both of these teams play. How do you stay focused going into sets 2 and 3, or just knowing that this is a rivalry game and they can play better? I
think we just really focus on, don't matter what the score was, they're still the same team, and they can come back just as hard as we know they can.
Well, Madigan, thank you very much. Congratulations on the win, and we'll talk to you as the season goes on.
Thank you.
All right, again, Madigan Faircloth, our first interview. Now we will welcome in Caroline Shipley, and once again, Caroline, I promise it's going to be okay. We will not bite. And Phil, I'll let you lead this one off.
Caroline, you've kind of taken on a new role this year where you used to just hit opposite now, but you're setting as well, so you're playing all the way around. So to notice tonight how you guys spread the ball out setting, trying to get opposite involved, and that was something really Hedgesville couldn't do. Was that plan? So, hey, we got to get opposite and middle involved, because Sadie was nasty tonight. Did you guys plan to spread the ball around more than what you had in past games?
Oh, yeah, we definitely did, because their blockers wouldn't be on us if we didn't. Mm-hmm. So if we spread it out, then their blockers can't come and block us.
Yeah, so it's not as noticeable where you're going to set. But I thought you guys did a great job with that, especially when things got tight, where a lot of teams would just completely go outside the whole time. You guys really spread it when things were tight.
When you look at a rivalry game like this, how much do those tournaments that you guys play almost every weekend at the beginning of the season help you for games like this?
Oh, they help us a lot. We play a lot of hard teams that get us ready for our rivals. And I don't think if we didn't play those teams, we would be prepared and ready for it. But it definitely helps for us to be prepared.
With that being said, how did the little bit of a break before this game help you guys kind of just mentally recharge, get ready for what's going to be the heart of the regional schedule?
I think it just gave us some rest and assurance that we're going to be doing fine, and we just need to get our minds together, think about what we're going to do, and execute it.
Well, Caroline, thank you for the time. Congratulations on a good win, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Good job, Caroline. Caroline Shipley and Madigan Faircloth, our post-game interviews tonight. Let's take one more 1-minute timeout back at the station. We'll come back and give our final thoughts from this one and set you up for our doubleheader on Monday and Tuesday coming up next week. That coming up next as we wrap up the post-game show. This is West Virginia High School Volleyball on TV 10.
The EPAN Travel Volleyball Club would like to wish the local high school volleyball teams good luck with their 2019 season. We look forward to seeing all players ages 12U through 17U at our 2020 tryouts in November. The EPAN Volleyball Club has been West Virginia's leader in travel volleyball since 2001. The EPAN Volleyball Club is affiliated with the Chesapeake Region Volleyball Association and AAU USA Volleyball. Tryouts are usually held at Musselman High School. To register, email epan2@gmail.com or go to www.epanvbc.com.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution, they know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
Welcome back into Hedgesville. One final segment here from Hedgesville High School. Again, the final in 3 straight sets today was Musselman getting the win 25-11 in set 1, 25-20 in set 2, and then set 3 took it 25-22 on what was a great rally when it looked like we were going to go 4 sets easily. And Phil, I know we have a much smaller sample size calling these games than what has actually happened this year with all the tournaments and all the games they've played, but to me this was, from what we've seen, the best that they have played yet this year.
It absolutely was the best that we have seen them play, and they played that way in a tournament in Pennsylvania where everything was in sync and there wasn't as many unforced errors. And not to take away anything from the teams that we have covered earlier, but there's a little bit of extra motivation when they come to play Hedgesville. Hey, Hedgesville's taken them to the mat before, and they can still do it now, and they know that. So when they come back to Musselman to play in the regular season, you'll probably see the same intensity. But Hedgesville is a work in progress. They've got some big players that they're trying to replace, and they'll continue to get better. They do every year.
All right, next up for this Hedgesville Eagle team on Thursday, they will be at Jefferson taking on the Cougars. And from what we saw from Jefferson earlier in the year, that looks like it could be a great match.
It could be, but, looking at the volleyball skills of both teams, I would expect Hedgesville to make quick work of that. And especially they're going to get this. They have a bad taste in their mouth over this match. It's not the outcome that they were looking for or that they're excited about, so they want to get that bad taste out of their mouth.
And then the next Tuesday, it'll be right back here taking on Spring Mills. Next up for the Musselman Appleman, they will be at Loudoun County on Monday. Again, that is a game we are expected to take. Again, still waiting on a finalization of whether that is a JV and varsity doubleheader. The last I heard was just varsity, but we will keep you up to date on our TV10 Facebook page as to whether that'll be a doubleheader, whether it'll just be that varsity match. Either way, we are going to head down to Loudoun County and give you that game on Monday, and then the very next night we will be right back out, and that game will be back at Musselman, and they will take on the Washington Patriots. So that is what's coming up next for us over the next 7 days. Again, the final from here was in 3 straight sets, 25-11 Musselman, 25-20 of Musselman over Hedgesville, and then 25-22. A big thanks to John Alderton, our main TV10 cameraman today, Eric Sterick, our on-site producer / cameraman, Caleb Falero, back at the studio for Phil McCoy. I am Matt Crawford. Until Monday, we'll see you then.
Good night, everybody.
You've been watching play-by-play video coverage of West Virginia high school volleyball featuring the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference and the Musselman Appleman. Today's game has been brought to you by
the Marius Group. Start planning for a brilliant future. The Eastern Panhandle Volleyball Club, West Virginia's leader in travel volleyball since 2001. D&D Meats at 8488 Winchester Avenue, Inwood. Anthony's Pizza. Nobody does it better. Dave Pippenbrink State Farm Insurance. Call 304-229-0029 today. Panhandle Dumpsters, because you have a choice. PanhandleDumpsters.com. Bechtel Jewelers, West Virginia's largest Pandora retailer. My Bank First United, Bank Local, and by Appalachian Heating and Air Conditioning, where quality meets comfort.
TV10 thanks you for watching today's presentation of Musselman Appleman Volleyball. All rights reserved.